Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Hello, everybody. So today started out all right. I accidentally sent a message meant to my girlfriend for Chemda, and here we are. Yeah, happy New Year.
The good news is, that happens like all the time with a lot of people. And for sure, when I get one from you, I'm never like, what?
Right.
Like, I'm never like, this is going to be so awkward. Oh my God. This was clearly meant for me. And we have to really sit down and talk. Nothing happens. I'm like, all right, the next message will be like, not you. It's like, and the third message will be, duh.
Just thinking about you in my bed today. You were? The fabulous Newsy is with us today. Hello, Newsy.
Oh, hello. I'm glad that that's the worst that it was. It could have been way worse. I think my first episode on the show was because I accidentally sent him to my dick.
She gets everything.
Yeah, it's a habit.
I know who my friends are. They're fucking morons. Just idiots.
Now, when you're dating, Newsy, and I can't imagine what you have these people listed under your phone. You accidentally send the wrong text, and next thing you know, you're seeing somebody you have to eat their asshole out, but you didn't mean to, but it's too late.
Hi, welcome to the show.
The worst is like, let's say I meet somebody and we exchange Snapchat things, whatever. And then the way that Snapchat makes you send your pictures, I have to exit the app to do it. Sometimes when I'm going back into the app, I can click the wrong thing and accidentally send my dick to the people. Now, the only bad part of that is that those people would think that I'm like DTF at the moment, and I'm not. I'm looking to smash somebody else. So like somebody from my past, one of my memories might be like, oh, Jerome's trying to like hook up. And I'm like, no, that was meant for somebody new, fresher, more interesting.
Now, when they say you're not born gay, like that's an option that you take. As men listen to this, do they go, yeah, I'd fucking opt in? These are your problems? This is, a guy might think that I'm interested and actually be interested. Oh, no.
I told you,
what
it's
do
a
I
curse.
do?
It's a curse more than anything. You have to learn how to master it. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to follow what's been going on with Newsy. Apparently, he's alive. That checks off a big box. The dating life gets a little hairy, scary. But today is the 14th annual KATGuh Award nominations. Your favorite picks of the year. So this is your show. You said what excited you. You mentioned the most ridiculous moments of the year, most heartbreaking, most goofiest, best fight, biggest political statement, and best rant. We have them all here. And throughout that, Newsy did make an appearance. So we're going to follow his life as we go along.
Also, I plan on winning every single award.
Come to mention that. Then Newsy said, really? Do you want Stinky's diaper? So, all right, Chemda, first up, Stinky's diaper.
How does it feel to be a winner?
Thank you. You know, anything that ends in an est is just something that I thrive for. Stinkiest, beautifulest, whatever. We'll get there.
All right. Okay.
New year, new us.
Well, let's begin right away. Let's start with most ridiculous moment. And this does feature Chemda.
Yay.
This is when she learned about the great Hilaria Baldwin, Alec Baldwin's wife. And I've heard her in interviews before. Has a thick Spanish accent. You can't really tell if she has it together because, at least what I heard, because the accent is so thick. She's, searching for words. How do you say cucumber? And then she was in I guess who was the comic? Who's that comic with the very clever podcast title, Three Girls, One Keith?
Oh, Amy Schumer.
Yeah. So Amy Schumer was like making fun of Hilaria Baldwin in a bathing suit holding her baby, just really trying to look sexy, but acting like you're holding a baby. And so then she came out to say that was body shaming, but forgot her Spanish accent. And now people started to look into that. And she was never born in Spain, Alec Baldwin's wife. Her name is Hillary, not Hilaria.
Stop it.
Now that, to me, is when it's weird.
Stop it.
Did Alec Baldwin know? Is he just go with it? She goes, Hilaria Baldwin said, well, I'm bilingual. So sometimes I have an accent. Kyle is bilingual.
I'm bilingual. No, right. We know what we're saying. Excuse me, but I know. Oh my God. I have to think before I talk in an accent.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh, my head is spinning because I'm like, oh, that's great. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's awful. Oh, people Alec Baldwin. Oh, God.
Yeah. People are like, oh, no, I went to school with her when we were kids. She never had an accent. So it seems like everybody loves the foreign accent,
Oh, I didn't. Oh,
I mean, that's one thing I can be sure of is that the people who all went to school and came up with me all have the same story that I tell. I don't have any, they're not like, oh, she was totally a cheerleader. And on the pep squad, Jess was such a debater on the debate team. And I didn't even ever go to prom except for stand outside and yell at people.
What were you yelling at them about?
I guess I was jealous. I was drunk.
Okay.
What do you do when you find out your wife was lying to you about where she's from and the accent? And you're like, look, you're already the daughter of my kids. Let's be honest. You're 30 years younger than me, so I married you because you're hot as hell. Let's just not talk about it.
Oh, my God. Wait, how long have they been in the relationship?
Enough for 2 kids, at least.
2 kids? More. When she was in labor, she kept the accent. Oh, my God. During sex, she kept the accent.
How do you say epidural?
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God.
This is
Gracias.
Ali.
Oh, God. She's making dinner. She's keeping the accent.
Right? Everything. She's got to keep it always.
That's a lot. That's exhausting.
Right.
What if you're on the phone with longtime friends? You keep the accent.
You start the accent. You get Alec to marry you. You're now a millionaire. And then slowly you act like you're taking classes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you're getting rid of your accent. 3-month process. You're a genius at it. But to stick with it for years.
Honestly, this is harder work than Rachel Dolezal. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No offense to anyone, but
commitment.
No offense to anyone
but
at
getting
all.
your hair done and tanning, whatever the fuck she did, an accent. Like you said, you can't slip. You get into a car wreck. Oh, motherfucker. Holy shit.
We sue them?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, you're going swimming. You got to have an accent. Oh, my God.
You're drowning. You can't blow it.
No. Oh, my God, I'm getting chills. Did they go around? You couldn't have been around anybody who was around her for longer than however long your kids are old. I don't know.
Right.
You call an old friend. You're like, let me put on my American accent. This guy thinks it's funny when I do that on the phone. So you might hear a different, what the fuck? Your parents? Have I met your parents? Has he met them? They better be dead. Oh, they better be dead. They better be dead. And you're visiting their grave in an accent. Oh!
And you're drowning. You're like, ayuda. Help. Ayuda. I mean,
what
I
about
just threw my voice?
Oh, you better not talk in your sleep. Oh, but you can talk in a different accent because it's like, oh, I was dreaming about being an American. Oh!
You know what I think she loves the most is karaoke. Karaoke, she can finally be herself.
Right. Everybody sounds American.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Does she speak Spanish?
She speaks Spanish, yeah.
She says como se dice, but that's it.
She said. Who the fuck knows? When it comes to Hilaria Baldwin, which what a great name, right? It is fucking Hilaria.
It is Hilaria.
I don't know which way I stand because I do know a lot of people that really shouldn't be themselves.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Welcome back to 2022. I have a couple of thoughts on this as I'm listening. And first of all, it's very nice that you guys continue with this sketch into 2022. Is this one of the most ridiculous moments because I believed the news story that you were reading me, that this person is making up an accent for years, and now I'm going to win by just believing it again? This can't have happened. This is ridiculous. I don't.
Yeah, it's me, Jerome. You guys remember me from high school? This is our 20-year anniversary. I always talk like this. You don't remember? You don't remember?
No, and we have record of you not talking.
No,
like
no, I don't think so. I think that might have been a different bloke. You know,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, can you do it in your sleep? And also, my second one is, I think like a most ridiculous moment inside a most ridiculous moment would be Keith's accent is just starting every sentence with "How do you say?" and then he's
getting words.
Yeah, that's him doing an accent.
Well, I'll tell you that Chemda was shocked all over again, right? And she agreed with herself. Like sometimes herself would say, "You're cutting up vegetables," and you say, and Chemda's like, yes, great
at the
point,
pool.
me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a tough year for the Baldwins.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. But what's more embarrassing? I don't think the gun is more embarrassing. That's just an accident.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. The show is episode 3358. That was with the fantastic Jess one. All right. Up next, most ridiculous moment of 2021. Keith reviews In the Heights from episode 3424 with Irene 2. If you like when people stomp on things and it makes notes, you will love In the Heights.
They're gonna be so confused about, like, imagine you made In the Heights and this is the review you just heard.
Yeah. Do you like to listen to the sounds of the city? In the Heights.
In rhythm.
In rhythm form.
Oh God.
Like the train. Then they trick out the train, and all of a sudden it's a hip hop train with a Latin flair. Okay.
Now I don't want to watch this.
Right. This is what I'm saying. I'm telling everybody not to watch it because you're going to be mad at me. Maybe I just thought I'd shoot out my brains and I could tolerate it. And now I leave there thinking it's fantastic. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it again because I don't want to ruin it. The experience. But yeah, I was into it. I was Googling how many songs are In the Heights. And what pops up automatically is the autofill is In the Heights, a true story. I don't want to spoil it, but when they started dancing sideways on the building, that's where I was like, probably not a true story.
Is it true that a bunch of Latino people live uptown?
Is it true that one guy thought about going to the Dominican Republic and a woman thought about going to college in a different state? Is that a true story? You should, when you go on when you're on the third date, you should be able to look at somebody's Google requests.
Oh, you're
right.
Mean.
Oh, yeah.
I can be inside your body, but I can't be inside your stupid question history. That doesn't seem right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why do you talk like that?
I'm just saying what's fair.
So uncomfortable.
I wouldn't know what you looked up if a movie was a true story.
Inside your body.
Yeah. You've been with bodies, right, Irene? I'm not saying things out of line.
I mean, not recently, but yeah, occasionally I'll dabble.
You know of them.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So you follow. You follow what's happening. All right. Irene's stand-up is fantastic.
It's the opposite of In the Heights. If you like In the Heights, you won't like my comedy.
You know what? For you know how to play piano, for example, right? How about more of that in your stand-up?
Yeah, I also don't know how you knew I played piano because I've never talked about that.
I know everything, Irene. Okay?
All right.
You should see my Google searches. I don't even go, what's Irene up to? Enter. I go, does Irene play piano? Enter. Yeah. Does Irene own a zoo? No, you don't, apparently.
I don't.
That's how I Google people. And I find crazy shit they wrote in their diary at 4th grade. If you like, I'm good. She figured out my interview technique.
Yes, welcome back again. Okay. It's so interesting listening back to this stuff because it's also the most ridiculous moment because that's how Keith meets new people. That's the first minute or two of meeting Keith.
Right.
That's so much was accomplished. You guys, you become best friends with someone, then you never see them again. But that's how you are friends with people.
That's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Great American Novel, the musical. And there'll be scenes where for digging holes, there's going to be a whole vignette for a hostel, where there's that part of his life. There's going to be the Adam and Craig apartment and stuff, and the musical ends at the dad emails. And then if there are musical sequels, that's what the sequel is.
And my dad's always whoever plays my dad is leaves the last note always.
Always.
For every song.
He's like a puppet master that's above the stage the whole time. He's not oh yeah, the Great American the Novel, the musical is coming.
Okay. I know you're joking, but guess who's not joking anymore? Me.
see that. Okay, pick up a newspaper though. But all right, we can work on making my autobiography a song in a minute, I guess.
That sounds great. Listen, heads up, Rocktopus, if you're listening, shout out
Any
to Rick.
script writers out there?
Be Jason, these are people who are in the works and are doing good. I know I'm missing some people. So
I think you named every musician. I think you covered them all.
Alanis, I know you already have one out there. And it actually looks like it would be good. And now I do want to see it. So oh my God, what? This isn't a good idea? We'll workshop it. All right, we could keep moving. It's cool.
All right, up next, most ridiculous moment. More so than what Chemda was just saying now. Chemda as Mark DeMayo with Karen Morrow. This is from your spin-off series last week, episode 172.
Something else that I've never understood, and why aren't police officers trained in sign language? That's something I've never understood, because you're dealing with the general public. So look like sign language would be, you should know that. So you can tell the between sign language and the gang sign. These things are not the same.
If you know sign language, you're immediately a detective. That's it. Done.
You get bumped up.
Yeah. If you know 3 languages, you're president of the United States through the cop program.
You get the top cop badge immediately.
Yeah.
Come on through.
We just had silent trailers. We had an ex-detective on.
Yeah, Mark DeMayo, yeah.
That's what detectives sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he had to do was I think he showed up on time. And
you know what? I can't
detective.
try to do Karen's voice, and you can't try to do Mark DeMayo's.
Right. Yeah. What is it? It's like
hey, Fagool.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey,
he has
Fagool.
such a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean,
so
it's Long
deep and
Island,
raspy.
you know. Yeah.
And then he laughs. He goes,
It's just the best. It is.
It's almost like, you know what it makes me think of? When I would have sex, I was very quiet. It was natural. I was just quiet. And then it made women nervous. Like, what the fuck's happening? So I'd exaggerate it. When I came, I'd be like, "Bleh!" And then next thing you know, now I'm noisy, let's say, but it's natural and everybody's happy. That's how Mark learned how to laugh, I think. This is legit.
Is this how you do it, apparently?
Mm-hmm. And then it's second nature-ish.
Did I do it right? Is probably the next question. Did I do it right?
I think he grew up in Astoria. I don't think that's a Long Island accent. I think it's just New York. It's New York cop accent.
It's
and I don't
all
even
of
do
New
it
York
that
at
way.
Just
once.
New York.
It's New York, motherfucker.
Right.
Just in general.
And then the more New York you sound, the higher you could be a detective. Because that's, you're
Yeah.
speaking the language, talking to the people, they're talking back at you. They speak your language. You got to speak their language. Work with the people.
Excuse me, officer. Do you believe in family?
Family, my mother is the most beautiful woman in the world. You don't fuck with her. And if you fuck with her, you fuck with me. Capiche? Okay. My father hasn't been around much. Good guy. He tried his best. But as far as I'm concerned, my mother, she's my rock. My brother, he does all right. Had to arrest him a couple times. No big deal. We worked it out. We're good now. So family.
Do you love being Irish, but you wish you were Italian, but you love being Irish?
I happen to be Dominican if I'm Mark DeMayo, so that's interesting. It's a twist.
I do love the twist. I think old cop wives are virgins, right? I think they treat them the same way like they do. No way she had sex.
No, she's the love of my life.
Or all moms, at least. All moms. All cop moms.
Mom's right. Mark
Right.
DeMayo learned to laugh in the way that people who drink are just like, I don't like hanging around people that don't drink. It makes me feel weird. So they started saying, Mark, you gotta laugh a little bit. Just give us something. He goes,
Remember Eric Kirchberger's laugh that you can hear from no matter, it could be an auditorium full of
Mhm.
people and you like comedians, some kind of like sort of didn't want him at the special because his laugh just stood aside. Because you'd hear like a roar of laughter and then in the back like, and you think he's making fun of you, but it is sincerely. I've never heard him. It's not like Hilaria or Hilarious, whatever her name is.
Right.
It was He never fucked up. He never was like, oh.
Right.
It was always that. It's so horrible.
Does Mark DeMayo do cameos or something? I might just wanted to say some stuff for me, maybe.
That's
should.
good. He
I
should.
can see that.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Imagine this guy Eric we're talking about though, and like the girl has to say like, no jokes in bed, please.
Right.
Really drives me out.
Yeah. Because like you can accidentally joke in bed, right? Something happens, it's funny, and it's like, yes, oh fuck, let's take a shower, baby.
Oh, you got a foot cramp? Not funny. Not funny. Remember that, Eric. Not funny. All right. Your final entry for most ridiculous from episode 3437. This is us talking about the new Jeopardy host. Since Alex Trebek passed away, they were having different hosts. I think George Stephanopoulos was one. And they'd be like, okay, as if you're trying these people out.
Right.
But then it went on for so long.
If is it like just once or for the week or?
I think it was like for a week, but for months.
Okay.
And where, it's like they can tell this is an event that people want to see all these different people. They're like, let's just keep doing this forever and act like we're looking for people.
I mean, let's not. Aren't there two people? AC Slater and and the guy who does New Year's. How many more people are there?
But they get kind of busy, I guess.
Oh, all right, good point.
There are only two.
That's true.
Well, the winner happened to be Mike Richards. Mike Richards is the producer of Jeopardy.
What?
He looked high and low in the sports world, news world, the candy eye. And he said, I figured out who would be the best person for the job. Me, Mike Richards.
Huh.
Yeah.
I really thought Ophira had a chance here.
It was her week was coming up, and he said, "Actually, guys, now does he make the phone calls?" He's like, "Hey guys, actually, thank you, LeVar. People love you, Reading Rainbow, etc. Star Trek,
yes,
right." But I think, looking back, I think I did it better than you, and we appreciate your time and your sweet tweets. Thank you.
I guess he understands the tone the best.
Because but LeVar, if for some reason I don't work out and I'm not pleased with me, I'd be the first one happy to call you. I got to feel like I'm going to do good though. And if it seems it's going bad, it's the landscape, hard to explain. But I got a feeling I'm going to be in it for a while. In fact, I'm giving myself a bonus right now. Excellent. The Richards. That was a fun week for them.
It was a fun week. Gosh, It's almost like you can't announce anything because a week later you will be disproved.
Right. Right. I wouldn't even say I'm happy to be here and have the job. I just feel like I have the job and thank you. And I don't even want to push that.
I love Keith's version of insulting someone is doing an impersonation of them where they're just talking regular, where it's like, hi, I'm Mike Richards. The following is coming out of my mouth. Just
right.
Regular talking.
Yeah. I don't appropriate.
The lessons I've learned from Keith, always assume you were recording. And you just said that, huh? You said that out of your face. Right. Okay. Okay.
Just let him do it. All right. Next category. Well, this one's heartbreaking. This is most heartbreaking.
Get your tissues. We don't fuck around with these heartbreaking things.
No. Let's here we go. Courtney Maginnis is the guest on this episode 3413. This is Courtney's rape.
It happened to me when I was 16 years old. I'll say it. And I felt like I couldn't tell anyone because I felt like I had done something wrong. And like in our culture, it's like if a girl had sex, she was a slut and a boy was cool. And so I felt like, oh, I did something. My tits were out or I drank too much or I did something wrong. So it was at a sleepover when like all these, the older brother's friends were all there. He broke open a bathroom door to fucking rape me after I told him no repeatedly. And then my mom picked me up the next day and was like, how was the sleepover? And I held it in. I didn't feel like I could tell any of my friends. I didn't feel like I could tell anyone. And then this older boy told everyone. And so So Monday at school, everyone's calling me a slut for getting raped. And I felt like it was all my fault and I couldn't do anything. And even by the time I'm in my 30s dating my now husband, like that shit still comes up. And like, I've gone to a ton of therapy. I wasn't even able to like admit to myself that it happened until I was 25. And I spent almost a decade in therapy, just kind of like dealing with the aftermath of that. So I do completely agree that now that we're at least acknowledging that this happens all of the time, that it's a lot easier not a lot easier because it's not easy, but it does take that festering.
Yeah.
It takes that out of it.
That we don't have to we just fought this battle, this physical battle that also hit the emotion. And now we have to fight the battle that comes after it to relive it and hope that somebody believes it while we're saying it. Or
Right.
you get punched again saying like, what did you do?
Exactly.
How do you think what do you think shifted in order to get in a little bit of a better place?
Honestly, being with Casey, I feel like it took a long time, and in my like previous relationships, I still had all this anger and I couldn't really understand why. And I wasn't with a man who like could really just like handle the emotion that came at him. And Casey is so amazing and open and so hot, you know. So I was like, but I just feel like he was able to kind of like work on some of this stuff with me. And like
he wasn't, I know a lot of times when women cry, men start feeling uncomfortable, or people in general, and then they change the subject or
absolutely 100,000,000% that. Whereas he would be like, what's going on? He would like encourage me to dig deeper. I mean, he's done his own therapy too. And so it really helped to like be with someone who like would sit there with me and be like, why are you crying? Like, what is going on? Like dig in deeper and that sort of thing. And just let me be vulnerable. Let me be angry when I wasn't really sure why I was angry. And things like that. And now I'm in such a better place because I can communicate when things are triggered and I understand why they're triggered and things like that.
Yeah. And he's not taking it personally.
He's not taking it personally.
That's great news. Because I was picturing like Courtney would be like, I was raped when I was a kid. And he's like, I hear you today. Somebody gave me a smoothie. He said, enjoy. I said, you too. Oh, boy.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, luckily I'm with a man who's also been through immense childhood trauma. So we're both very fucked up. So it was nice to be with someone who knew they were fucked up too. And we could, work on it together.
And you're both not just doing this stuff for fame, right?
Well, that's the thing. Can I honestly? So I feel weird because now we're in this place. This goes along with everything we're talking about, where people are coming forward and talking about them. I mean, I know you guys have tons of listeners, so I am opening up in that way. But I never, ever could even imagine talking about this in stand-up. And I almost feel like when all these things, like Nanette and all these amazing things come out, I almost feel in a way like, am I still not healed enough, or something bad about me that I'm not able to share the most traumatic thing that like happened in my young adult life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so interesting. Like, but that's because that is how we're shown by somebody on stage. We think that that's the way to process it, but there's like 5,000 different ways.
Yeah.
And it probably is in your stand-up in some way because it's in there.
Yeah, just like I'm a slut. It just comes out in different ways.
Who doesn't like Courtney? How brave. It feels important. And hopefully we didn't get too personal. Julia Scotty.
Oh, boy.
That was this year, too. That was this year, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Courtney. I think the only thing that gives me a hang up on this section of the awards is that I don't know what to write on the trophy if she wins. You know, that's the tough thing.
And that's the thing. And if so, like, you're going to be able to vote on who should win in every category. And it's like, Hey, Courtney. Yeah, New Year's going well. How's it going with you? Good, good, good. Listen, our audience really liked you last year, 2021, and you won a KATGuh award. For what segment? For what segment? You're very funny. Did I mention that? Every time you come on the show, hilarious. This one happens to be a different category than what you might be used to, but we like to be prolific and branch out and just kind of, diversify. So anyway,
hottest chick. You want for hottest chick. All right, good talking to you.
You want to put something on it, you could be like a comedy community outreach award,
Oh, I see. Oh, Newsy's learning how to talk that language.
Well,
also, speaking of, we mentioned like people being uncomfortable when other people crying. Mm-hmm. I know Keith has talked about this on the show, that you learn to just sit there while someone else is crying. I think Newsy, you also. It's no longer a weapon or a fear.
No, it's a turn on.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
God. We'll get to that. You cry.
Yeah. We'll get to you. But what Keith used to do is if I was crying, he'd be like, right away, stand up, like, so I'll just leave you alone.
Right.
Like,
I don't want to embarrass you.
I'm like, no.
Good instincts. I'm right there with you.
It's like you're shitting yourself. Why would you want me there?
You need a moment. Clearly, I'll give you the room.
Yeah, you could have just asked.
I'll throw some tissues in the room. I won't even look.
Yeah, slide it into the door. No problem. Yeah,
I slide the remote control to her and I leave.
Yeah, you guys pass the tissues like you're passing toilet paper. Relax.
Oh, I've heard relax isn't a good thing to tell somebody when they're crying or something. So I learned that. Relax. Yeah. Calm down. It'll be fine.
Just jump right to whatever step you want it to go to. It'll be fine. I mean, eventually.
I'm changing the mood because you're not crying anymore. Now you're mad. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, picture during any of these conversations I play right now. One of us goes, all right, calm down. Up next, big competition nonetheless. From episode 3374, this is Paul Hooper finds Clint Nohr's body with Paul Hooper. This also Paul's roommate, Clint Nohr. He was on our show about a year before he passed away, and he died when? Like 6 months ago?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the pandemic, like March.
It's almost a year, right?
Yeah, like the week the pandemic really kicked off, March 18th. So
the episode, if you want to hear it with Clint, is episode 3043, and it was called All Needle Arms, where he was talking about his heroin addiction. Let's see. Clint Nohr is in the studio explaining life with longtime friend and roommate Paul Hooper.
I talked to him, and we stay up late. We're comics, so we stayed up to like 2, and I was like, we're just talking shit. And then I was like, I might take a shower, and he's like, all right, whatever, I'll see you in the morning, something like that. We're just talking outside his room. So I jump in the shower, I go back to my room, which is past his room, and his light's on, which I think nothing of it. And then I go to bed, and then I always get up and pee a ton, and then like 6 a.m. I get up to pee, and like his light's still on, doors ajar, lights on. It's just like, I don't know. He's not the type to stay up till 6 or 7 in the morning. And I'm like, do you go to a bodega in the middle of the night for food? I'm like, that's not like him either.
Did he seem different when you were talking to him that night, or
no?
Nothing different. It was just the light that alerted you to maybe something was off.
Yeah, and I mean, he'd been struggling with stuff for the last month or two, so we'd talk. So I mean, he was an anxious dude, but I am too, and so we've always going through a thing. And then he's
struggling, not to get too personal if you don't want to, but struggling with the pandemic or other personal stuff like family.
Yeah, pandemic. He had to worry too that, and he never told anyone when he was alive that he had cystic fibrosis.
Right.
And so, his lung capacity was at 40%. So when he was down in the Bahamas, this COVID thing kicked off, if he got it, that underlying issue, he's like, good chance he wouldn't make it. So I think that got in his head while he's down in the Bahamas. Then everything came apart. Like they started canceling the shows. Everybody was fleeing the resort. And he's like flying back to New York City with cystic fibrosis. Like, if I get this, I'm not going to make it. So I know that was in his head too. And he's freaking out. And he was thinking about coming home for a couple of days, getting his stuff and moving to his parents' place in North Carolina. They sort of live out in the country. So like, maybe that's the best bet. So he's making those plans. That was his thing. He was going to go stay with his family for a while this thing.
That sounds smart. Yeah.
But
that's why I'm scared. I'm at half capacity lung because of the frozen diaphragm. So I've been in this closet. Like it's very scary to know that like a cold could be the thing. That's just so, and it's just out in the air for you to catch. So
yeah,
So that was a little bit different, but not different from night to night, right?
Yeah. And I mean, because of cystic fibrosis, he had spent so much time since he was a kid in hospitals, in and out. Every couple of years, you got to go in for something where your levels drop. I don't even know the details of it. He's just like, I got to go in for 2 weeks, and they have to boost him back up. So his dread of being in hospitals and it's something I can't relate to. I never lived with that disease. So it's sort of like he was carrying a lot. A lot was in his head. So,
yeah. So when you knock open the door and
at
then
6 a.m.
At 6 a.m.
Yeah. Right before 6. Yeah.
Is there a needle in his arm? Literally?
No. But I mean, he was just like it's sort of like, sort of weird to talk about, but like it was open so I could see the top of his bed where he would normally sleep, and he wasn't there. So I'm like, well, he's not asleep. He's not. I thought he just passed out with a light on maybe. And then I like called his name, nothing, pushed the door open. And he's at the foot of the bed, just sort of slumped in a position no one sleeps in. Even if you were drunk, you wouldn't pass out like that. Sort of folded over. I'm like, fuck. So I went and got my other roommate because I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm seeing. I'm not sure what's right. I don't know whether to touch him or what. I got her, and then she checked him, and she's like, call 911. And so we did.
But he was already dead, right? Yeah. When she said call 911.
Yeah, sure.
And then there's an autopsy later that you follow up on?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get like all these toxicology reports. I knew what had happened. So that all went to his parents. And
do you break the news?
I don't know. I don't need the breakdown of what exactly was in his system to know. I mean, I got an idea, and I don't want to ask her or his mom or dad about.
Oh, so you didn't break the news? Did you break the news to the parents, or that's the police?
Yeah, I mean, that was the job. I mean, so at 6 a.m. I had to, and then they, pronounced him dead, and then I got to call his parents at 6:30.
Fuck. Had you ever spoken to his parents before that?
Yeah, I met his mom once and his dad once.
In person?
A little bit. I didn't know them well, but yeah, we talked. And so I'd seen him down south, and his mom had come to New York for a minute. So I met her, talked to her for a bit. They're very nice.
When you called, when they heard that it was you, did they know?
I called his dad. I mean, 6:30 in the morning, I think I woke him up, and it was just sort of, I mean, I don't know. How did he just took, sort of, I feel like he maybe knew. Maybe, I don't know. A phone call at 6:30 in the morning, and I said it, and I don't know. I was sort of, I'm numb, still in a daze, and just did it.
Do you remember if you just spit it out, or do you start with some kind of pleasantry?
I just spit it out. My roommate at the time, she was great about it because she's sort of like, you got to call people. And she's like, I can call for you, but she didn't really know him like I knew him. I'm like, no, I'll call. And she's like, make a list, start with his parents, and just go down it and check it off. And I just did it methodically. And I was so numb and so shocked that I just like, of his parents first, then our close friends, and just one after another, and just, delivering this horrific news. So I just did it methodically. I'm like, nothing's worse than him being dead. So I hate calling his parents was excruciating, but I mean, it just has to be done. So I just called one after the other.
How long have you been sober? You're a pro now.
May of 2006. So going on 15 years.
Okay. Did that at the time affect your sobriety at all?
No, it reinforces it.
Okay.
In a weird way. I mean, it makes me more angry towards it. Yeah, it's just, no, people ask that when it first happened, they're like, are you tempted now more than I'm like, no, it fucking angers me more towards any kind of, drugs or alcohol. It drives me further away from it.
Right.
Because I'm like, yeah, my friend's dead because of it. And so, no, I've always had that. I've got sort of a weird sobriety. You guys know, I don't really go to AA or anything, but I sort of looked at it always as sort of the enemy. That drugs and alcohol now are like, it's just a fucking dirty trick for people. It's a money-making scheme. I don't care whether you die or not. I mean, I know that's a killjoy way to look at it. It's a hard way to live, but it keeps me sober. I'm like, it's a fucking trick.
He's absolutely right, of course. And then he goes on after that a little bit about, I don't need a drink at the end of the day. These fucking commercials, these billboards, that kind of thing. If it's New Year's and you're looking at resolutions, maybe this shook you up a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, that'd be the worst. Then you're in charge.
What did it do for you, Keith?
I say, what do you mean?
You just said sort of made the connection of sobriety or get sober, and
I knew alcohol was poison and the trick even before I admitted that. But yeah, when you're on the other side and you're looking at it and you're like, how fucking ridiculous. How ridiculous.
You don't like tricks.
I don't like tricks. And that could be the biggest one. All right. Most heartbreaking. They'll have to fight it out. Oh, we got another one. This one features our buddy Newsy. The third and final
What?
entry and the most heartbreaking. You bring up crying, Chemda. How does he deal with it? This is how. This is from Q&A, the wrap-up episode. We'll be continuing it, of course, next week and every Wednesday in your VIP package. This is Q&A episode 63, Newsy's crying blowjob.
So like as I'm trying to get him hard again, he's like, apologizing because he's not getting hard. Oh my last girl used to like compare me to other guys that she fucked and used to like talk shit about me. And then he starts crying.
Oh. And your car's not fixed yet.
My car's not fixed yet. His dick is in my mouth, and he's just like, I'm such a fuck up. And like I swear to God, it's like a scene from a movie where you're just like, these things don't happen. This doesn't really happen. But he dick's in his mouth and he's like, I fuck everything up and like I just can't get it right. And I was just like, wow. Time to transition now. I guess we're not sucking dick anymore. Like, and so like next thing you know, I'm like caressing and cradling him while he's just like weeping.
Do you take the dick out of your mouth like right away? Do you give it like one final suck off?
No,
or does it peter out? No pun, like a song.
As soon as, butterfly kisses on the way out.
Yeah. Like okay, then you lick under this real quick. Don't forget about me, but we have to stop.
One last lick.
That'd feel good though if you're normal. Okay, maybe get back on your pills and call me. One big one. Okay, we're done. Okay, that would feel good rubbed in with my tongue. Okay, we're done.
It was I mean, like, how do you transition from and the thing about it is that I got him like 60% of the way there too. So I was just like, what the fuck are you crying about? Like, I did the work and you just had to like relax. You just have to relax and like meet me halfway. But either way, he's crying or whatever. So then we stop having sex. And then the rest of the night just turns into like therapy time, Like I didn't get home until 5 a.m. Like 4:30 is when he dropped me off.
Wow.
My car is still at his house today. This was
what a heavy section, top to bottom. I'm so sorry, Newsy. How what is the latest with the crying gentleman? Anything new since then?
There's nothing new. I just we've hung out one time over the whole break, and I just assume he's back with his girlfriend now. And I deleted his number from my phone so that I wouldn't be tempted to. Because, like, still, I'm more or less over the situation. I recognize it's not good for me. It's not good for him, all that stuff, whatever. But
I thought that's what you liked about it.
I know, of course. Absolutely. Like a drug that I'm not supposed to have. I'm just like, that's
like
all I
trick.
want.
Yeah, ooh, that's why they call them tricks.
Yeah.
Oh, turning tricks. Well, now I'm like Adele. I'm turning tables and, just trying to like leave old shit in the past, whatever. But goddamn, every text message I get, I'm just like, what if it was him? What if he's like, hey, she's a bitch again? And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Anyways, I'll come over.
Sounds like you're over it, and that's good.
No,
New year, new year.
This is all I want. All I want. I want to be heartbroken. I want it so bad.
And that's the thing. That was one of the 3 most heartbreaking. And in listening back again, Keith and his fucking questions, people could be like, like you drop. Okay. So, and the thing is especially in this one, I was like, you know what? I do want to know that. Yeah. I don't know if I knew that I wanted to know that, but good question. So Keith's question was, so do you like end right there or do you just suck him off?
Oh, I have written down here my notes from the last segment. My face when Keith announces show titles like Needle Arms McGee. I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? This show?
Yeah. Oh he's like that. What's that guy, Keith? You make fun of. He goes, one more thing.
Columbo. Yeah.
Holy crap. No,
well, here's it. I think the toughest thing is if you have to explain to Paul or Courtney that they lost because you were in a really confused place at one time.
I'm sure they'll understand.
I hope so. All right. Now, totally different. And you'll figure out why right away, I think. But totally different from most ridiculous. I don't want you to get your scorecards screwed up. This is most goofiest. Not the most ridiculous moment of the year. It's what you believe is the goofiest moment of the year. Okay.
Now, and according to Xerxes, I am the goofiest person he's ever met. And he likes it. He's saying positive things. So I don't know.
You come up.
I
This
thought
is my category.
I thought Goofy was like dog whistle words in Keith for like fucking batshit. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. No, this is biggest bad shit moment.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I may have to take some stuff back.
Let's start with Chemda.
Yay! I
is-
mean, what?
From Q&A number 31. This is Chemda's Puppuccino
No.
with Newsy.
You know what's fun though, for those who are going to Starbucks, ask for a puppuccino and they'll give you a little shot glass of their whipped cream, which is delicious. And then if the whipped cream is not in the drink, you can allot it. You have full control of how much whipped cream is in every.
Is this a hack or is it just fun to ask for it?
No.
And is this true or is this just a setup to make me look like a fucking idiot?
No, I like to
Puppuccinos are
pretend.
real.
I like to pretend that I have a dog outside, like, and Roger the dog, you want to? Yep. He wants a puppuccino. Yep. Totally my dog.
Let's do an impression. I'll be Chemda.
Okay.
And you, Newsy, you're the worker, and you ask me how my dog's doing because it's a different day.
Totally.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to
Can I-
Starbucks.
Hey, thanks. Can I get the sandwich bullshit, please?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have one just made up fresh.
Thank you.
That's not true. But
And now you have to recognize that I had a dog before.
Okay. Hey, did you bring Missy by over lately?
The cat, pup, a greyhound.
So you do or don't want the puppuccino? I don't.
Pushing
for your dog.
Xerxes in front of me. Then to make it go away. Make it go away. Puppuccino.
And this is why
Xerxes
lying.
goes, here's your sandwich. And Chemda goes, and the puppuccino?
And you didn't get it after all that? And this is why lying's bad, you know?
Yeah.
Just tell them that you want a Chemda and then that'll just
Yeah.
be that same thing.
Yeah, I'll go and get it if you want. No, they see me. You know, she's one of these people. It's like, I can't use the bathroom. I already left the restaurant. They're gonna think I love bathrooms.
Oh, I will be in the parking lot of a store and know that I left something or didn't get it. And I'll just be like, well, I mean, somebody's who saw me come in the first time be like, why is this guy back? So then I will just not go. Yeah.
That's not how a restaurant works. You go in once and you leave once, unless you're smoking. And I'm not seeing him smoke. I'm gonna follow him. This guy's weird, and he's not smoking.
I have said like, oh yeah, I have to pee. And Xerxes like, well, we just left the restaurant. It's right there. I'm like, too late. And he's like, it's not too late. Get in there. What is too late about this?
Now let's get on a subway for an hour, and you have to you have to be nervous too, not just me being uncomfortable. And now that
I would
my
like
friends,
to
is
say,
Goofy. Yes.
Okay, fair. First of all, I don't do that, but it was such a good impression that I will take that on as a personality. That's fine. Hilarious.
First of all, it
And then
describes you perfectly because that you would make up that it's Roger the dog.
I would, and it was Missy, so pay attention. But also, if I win this category, I will be sharing this with Newsy. He also said some goofy ass shit. Thank you.
I think this should be the goofiest layup here because Keith was the goofy one in the clip. He's just presupposing that Chemda's he's the goofy one.
That's right. It was made up. It's not even an impersonation.
Didn't even do anything crazy.
Still feels like
it
a
should
fact,
be.
doesn't it?
It should be
Still
under
feels like
worst,
one.
worst yet funny impressions. That would be Keith all day. You know
That's
what?
it.
If you haven't heard the clips that you want to hear, that's your fault. Every time Keith acts goofy, write that shit on our forums.
Is there a Keith's paraphrasing category? Because that's where it should go.
Hello. Yes, you can make up whatever category you want. This is brilliant.
Follow Chemda into Starbucks. I'm sure I wasn't close at all. All right, up next, most goofiest moment from Q&A number 53, Big Proud Boats with Newsy.
Oh my God, can I tell you guys this story? We were on the way to the beach via ferry. There's like an upper deck where you could
We
stay
don't
in
say
the wide-
that. We don't say that.
Via big gay boat.
Yeah.
Big proud boat. I wish I knew that lifestyle.
I'm fine with them as long as they don't touch me, boat.
I mean, however you work on the engine in the privacy of your garage, that's your business.
Just don't tell me about it. Don't throw it in my face too much. I got kids.
So great. Okay.
Fantastic. Political, timely. It covers everything. I loved it.
Yeah, it's sort of shout outs to the 80s sitcoms and like the steps that we have to take in order to agree that regular shit is happening. You know,
Right.
like, okay, regular shit is happening, but like at your house, right? Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
This show sort of, I've never been in one, but it reminds me of what it's like to be in a writer's room. You know, it's just like, oh, is that a crazy situation? How crazier can we go with this?
Right.
Now, where can we take this to? That's really fun. Like this show has been an exercise and like, just I can do improv now. I can do all sorts of shit. I can wow the kitchen with my jokes because I'm just like, look, I know what it's like. You gotta be snappy. So this show has been helpful, making me more goofy.
Now let's say somebody's
I
on
like
a big
that.
crowd boat, but they want a puppuccino, but they don't have a dog. And go no, something like this. Up next, most goofiest, your third and final entry. This is from Q&A episode number 63. Sniffies with Newsy.
Okay,
Now,
so
how did you not die this week?
how did I not die this week? Basically, there's on Sniffies once again. I know it's old, whatever.
It's insane. You try to say it faster and faster. So earlier I was on Sniffies and I'm doing regular things. Shit, going faster actually makes me go slower.
Just another hunt.
every time I like introduce Snippy to somebody in my life, they're like, "What the fuck is Sniffies?" And I show them, they're like putting up the cross sign. They're just like, "Get it away from me! This is vile." But so there's a guy who messaged me. Most of the time, I like to keep them brief, down to like menu sort of items. Hey, what are you looking for? I'm looking for this. Blah blah blah. This guy's being very conversational right off the bat, which sort of means he doesn't know the ropes. So
Okay, one moment, please. Love this already and already have questions.
Sorry.
May I have, yes.
I just want the sniffies.com again. Apparently they changed the picture.
oh boy.
But I remember it being fucking all, an orgy of dudes. That's
Yeah.
what this one is. It's holy shit. I don't know where to fucking start.
Are you on the map yet?
No, I'm at the main website. Sniffies for
Oh.
the curious. There's one dude, spread eagle with the jock strap.
Oh yeah, we love a jock strap.
He's black. His hand, for what it's worth, on the white guy's head. He's very interested to blow him. Behind him, everybody's fit. Behind him, two guys. There's a leg up. There's a hand right by the dick on the thigh, and a Budweiser can. So I'm like, we're really having fun.
So
Holy
you mean
shit.
they showed a Wednesday?
Yeah. And a cookie necklace, which does it say cookie? Yeah,
How
it says
could guys-
cookie. And for me, that's funny as fuck, and I don't know why.
How could you not want to be gay when you look at these things?
They're having fun.
Pretty great, honestly. It makes it so easy. But if you were to like make an account and go through, the next thing you would see is a map, like a digital map, and then just tiny little icons everywhere. Dick here, butt here, spread butt cheeks here, a face, a diaper, fucking a toilet seat, blah blah blah. There's just shit everywhere. And the toilet seat, I already know that guy from years ago. That's toilet for college. He like sits underneath a toilet seat and wants guys to poop on him. Like that's what that dude does.
Stop it.
And his icon is just like a little toilet seat. Yeah, he's been on the internet for years in Pittsburgh, and we all know about it.
Oh,
Toilet for
boy.
college, but you just don't go.
That
It's just
kinda-
funny. It says you click on it. It says load the map. I'm like, oh. It wants to know my location. No.
Yeah, because you'll find out that your landlord, the people next to you, across the street from you, everyone's on Sniffies.
Oh my God, Chemda. So just in case you described it in a way that everybody isn't getting it. Holy fuck. So you see the map of where you're at. Well, they found me. I said no, they found me. One, it's a circle of like but it's their profile picture, which this is a gentleman. It's just his
Gentleman?
But yes, there's big balls and dick. Here's dick going through shorts. Oh, there's a couple, just the two dudes, just a couple.
Nice.
Here's a guy. Oh, he had balls to put that up, but okay. Yeah, here's on all fours. All you see is an ass, but it's like far away. You're like, I get you like it in the ass. Now I know.
Yes.
I'll click on that. Oh, here's an ass with something inside it. I can't tell yet if it's a corn cob or a butt plug. We'll assume butt plug, right? Holy shit, dude!
What?
You know what just happened to me?
Somebody came in through your computer screen?
I'm getting blown right now. I didn't set up an account. How are they gonna get me in the end? No pun. It came up like 8 fucking circles, right? So I'm going around, I'm looking, oh, this is funny. You were there. All of a sudden, there's 1,000 fucking videos, pictures, gas stations. What's the gas station logo?
So that means that's probably like a cruising spot. So either you go there and you hook up there, or you go there to like meet and then you hook up from
it's
there.
scaring me. It keeps popping up. Okay, hold on. Okay, exit. That fucked me up more than Squid Game.
Maybe I should watch Squid Game. It's probably nothing to me. I'm like, whatever. That's like middle school shit.
Right. We break glass over each other's heads for fun.
Okay, so that does go with my questions.
Yes.
So I remember one of my questions, and that is, what items would be on a menu that you get or that you give? Like, what menu item? Like, hi, how are you? What would you like? And what comes up?
There's not like an actual drop down or whatever, but in my profile,
no, I know. Okay, for the record, I know. But I love you for being so gentle about it.
In my profile, it has listed that like I'm like a service top, which means I'm not looking for anybody to do anything to me. I'm looking to do all the stuff. So whenever somebody messages me, they're like, "Hey, do you want to get blown?" I'm like, "No." In conversation, shut it down. But if they're just like, "Hey, I'm versed. That looks big. I'd like to take it," then you just start your yeses and nos from there. Are you into this? Are you into kissing? No. Are you into blah 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 blah? So
you would think there'd be something sacred about. Do you want us to know where you are on the map? No, we do.
Yeah.
Why would you show up and not say yes? So obviously, yes. Anyway, here's your bedroom, and dudes will be over in 5 minutes.
There are times when I'm at work and I'm just like, I wonder if anybody's in here like looking at my profile right now and then watching me like, do these tattoos match up to this guy? Maybe. I think that might be the guy. They have to be.
Yeah.
We learned so much on Q&A. Seriously, if you're listening to Keith and the Girl and you don't have VIP and you're not listening to Q&A, or if you have VIP, excuse me, and are not listening to Q&A, I mean, this is a weekly basis of learning and growing in many different ways. And last time we were in chat was last Wednesday, as usual. Yes. You and Craig were you brought up like, what is it? Chatterbait. And we flip a coin here. Like, what do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? And Xerxes landed on him, and we watched a bunch of Chatterbait for a while.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
It's like roulette and people are just whacking
free porn, just free porn.
But it's live. Okay, so you see a whole bunch of rooms in front of you, like there could be 20, and sort of a still, and that keeps updating because it's a video. You can click on that video or all of the videos in all of the tabs, and they are live working it for you, right? And then you give them tokens, and then if they get a certain, so everyone has a menu. If I get like 25 tokens, she's taking it in the butt. If we get 100 tokens, we're bringing in another dude.
25 just to take it in the butt. That's she's selling.
I'm off.
Short. Okay.
I'm off. I'm way off.
How many tokens did you get? Did you get the starter kit?
Well, it costs money to get tokens, and
this is what I'm asking.
No, we didn't do any of that. It wasn't. It's amazing. I didn't know so many amateurs. I'm sure there are professionals there, but so many people were like, fuck it, we're fucking anyway. Let's turn on a cam. And what's interesting is that they're all laid out pretty professionally, where they are doing the sex acts that they promise. They're on time. They're like delivering. But also, if you look just a little more careful, if the woman is in down dog, there's a keyboard in front of her. If the guy's getting blown, there's a keyboard to the side of him. There's a mouse always ready, because they have to watch the chat. They have to listen as money comes in. They have to react.
Thank you for that tip, ball bag 69.
Exactly. It's amazing. And you could go there and there's like, women, men, couples, trans, like different, you can put a hashtag, this is what I'm interested in. And it's just people fucking
Now picture the resumes. They want a more, normal, let's say, job. And they're like, facilitated many inputs during a
Zoom entertainment facilitator, something like that.
Right. A lot of problems came up, like people's wives catching them. And I facilitated their relationship in a way to act like he landed accidentally on the site.
Yeah, well, there's more learning to be had in the new year, and we'll see. We'll see what we can come with for the next show. I like how all of my clips are in most ridiculous or most goofiest. That's great. Love that.
He thinks like human behavior is just goofy and messy. You know, like you just be glad you're not under like the most fucked up trickster or tricksters in my life. Whatever. You know,
let's play that clip for Sniffies and get some money for the show, huh?
You know what? Speaking of which, let's take an ad break. This is a Magic Spoon ad from episode 3413 with Courtney Maginnis. And live it up. Get yourself some Magic Spoon. You know, cereal is one of the best parts of being a kid. What you got to do? You got to give it up, right? Full of sugar, full of junk. What is even in it sometimes? You got to cut down on carbs, sugar, unhealthy food. Not with Magic Spoon, though. Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. That's 140 calories only each serving.
You're making Keith mad.
Keto friend, this is what I'm happy. Picture I'm proposing. Will you marry me? I love your kindness. You're the funniest I ever met. You challenge me and you make me think. Spend your life with me. Gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, GMO-free. Couldn't be happier. I just got to make sure it registers in your brain. I said, hey, Magic Spoon, did all our listeners buy it? And they go, no. And I'm like, well, I got to tell them. They have a new delicious flavor, birthday cake. Happy fucking birthday.
I cannot. You are
animated. Birthday cake Magic Spoon. It's going to be available in a special 5-pack for a limited time only. So get it while you can. They're the ones who put exclamation points on everything. How's this my fault? Build your own box.
It's called acting, Magic Spoon.
Available flavors to build your very own custom bundle include cocoa. Fruity. That's interesting names. You get what they're doing. Frosted. Peanut butter, cinnamon, but they're healthy. You're going to like it. I don't know if I can say healthy. What do I know? I just know it's not a bowl of shit. Like you've been eating that, I know. And if you're listening from Canada, Magic Spoon now ships there as well. So I'm happy for you as well. Here's what you do. Go to magicspoon.com/KATG. Grab the new limited edition birthday cake or a custom bundle of cereal to try it today. Be sure to use the promo code KATG at checkout. Save $5 off the order. Boom, done. Offer is now good anywhere in the US or Canada, but only when you use our code at checkout. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product. It's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
And funnily enough, that's also part of Keith's proposal.
Yes. I go, no questions asked. They go, I think we're not getting along lately. I go, I don't even want questions. I don't make questions. Goodbye. I've made you a promise, sweetheart.
I don't know what I'm selling, but I am gonna buy an ad on your show. After this copy read, I'm really floored. And I think I'm gonna switch careers to be your agent. I don't know. We'll talk after this.
I'll get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/KATG and use the code KATG. Save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon. Beautiful, beautiful. Big fan.
I love it. You know, and we have shout outs on the show, keithandthegirl.com/shoutout that you can buy. And we let you write the copy, the text, the thing that most likely Keith will read unless you specify that I should. But what I'm thinking is we should also have available, you can give us bullet points and Keith will do that kind of thing, right? Like I don't know if I'd rather sell my own stuff or just let Keith get happy angry at it. You know, like, this is the best. Why don't you want to go to Chemda.com? Are you dumb?
Yeah. Don't forget, Maria, Lexi loves you.
Do the ad companies themselves have their own versions of awards where like they give the best ad read for the year? Because like you've got to be on somebody's list for like best/most unusable ad read of the year.
Wait, what?
The
That
fuck is
should
this
be a
name?
category. Yeah. It should be a category where the redo category where yes, we had to redo it, but it was totally worth it.
We made a deal with our sponsors that anything they asked us to redo, if it wins a KATGuh award, we get to keep it.
They should give you a bonus at the end of the year. Just be like, look, you guys cracked this up in the office. We can't endorse this. It's unofficial, but you win.
It says real big, you lose. And then in the fine print, it goes, you win. You win. All right. We're up to best fight. Oh my goodness. More controversial after the next.
I'm usually in this, but I feel like I'm such a nice person. I need to
you're
reflect.
in it.
Yeah.
You're in it.
I enjoy the argument.
We're going to start with episode 3383. This is Wyatt Cenac versus Jon Stewart with Wyatt Cenac.
How did it escalate?
It escalated first.
Were you yelling back? Do you yell?
I yell, but I was not yelling. This is my boss, and John wasn't people's friend. Like, we were terrified of him. Like, I think, people were cordial, but it's like nobody, like, he wasn't like buddy with people where it was like, oh, you can just pop into his office. Like, if you popped into his office, you felt like you were bothering him. And so
what was he yelling at you?
So in that position, in that moment, it was a defensiveness of, initially it was him being like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? And I was like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that this bothered me. And it sounded to me like an Amos and Andy thing. And I think when it hit that point, to me, I kind of kept saying like, look, let's not like, just let it go. And like, stop putting air in this balloon. And I think when I said it sounded like something out of Amos and Andy and sounded like Kingfish, I think was what I said. Then he was kind of like, it turned into him yelling, fuck off, I'm done with you.
Oh, that kind of.
He thinks you just called him a racist in front of everybody.
Yeah, and he yelled that a few times and then stormed out. And then I wasn't sure if I'd been fired or not. And so I followed him to his office and knocked on his door, and he continued to scream at me. And, and I tried to defend my position, and that, I felt like as the one Black person there that I have to represent a community, and that he did not feel like that was something that he was concerned about. And, I think at some point in the conversation asked me why I'd never said anything about his Chuck Schumer impression. And to me, my response was, I'm not Jewish and you are, and that's your community. And that it feels as though, what I think of it is not like, that is not the community that I represent in that way. And I trust that you as a Jewish person, you feel okay doing that and will answer anyone who feels offended by what you're doing. But because I can't speak to that experience as well as I can speak to the experience of me being a Black person and what I hear that bothers me, I can't speak to that as strongly. That's something that I feel like you speak to. And so it ultimately, it became, I think at that point, it turned into a very emotional, charged conversation. By the end of it, again, I didn't know if I had a job or not.
Is that before? Did this happen before or after a taping? Like, do you see him taping? He's like, hello, folks. And you're like, he's mad.
No, so that was the morning meeting. That was our morning. And then that kind of sidetracked the morning. And then we still had a show to do. And at some point, one of the EPs came in and, one of the EPs and a dog. We had office dogs. And they, the dog
sounds like it's really helping the environment.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I was told later was that the dogs
bring on the therapy dogs.
That was the thing. The thing I heard was that the dogs were trembling. Like like the yelling was so much that they had been trembling in the building. And so a show still had to be done, and he still wound up doing the bit. And so he did the bit, and afterwards I was told that, in the postmortem, he thought the bit went great and was saying he wanted to submit that episode for an Emmy. And and it felt, when I heard that felt like that was spite talking, and that he wanted to. The guest that night was Louis, and Louis C.K. had said, like, he complimented him on air about how great he thought that bit was. And in the postmortem, John had said, like, Louis loved the bit, and like, we should submit it for an Emmy. This is what I was told. It's all secondhand, but like, to me, that felt very much like as though to spite me somehow.
I guess postmortem means it's a clever name for when they have a talk after the show. Yeah, and that Louis C.K. thing seems very deliberate too. Like, hey, Louis, tell me it's great later.
Hey, other white guy, tell me if this racial bit is good. Are you offended? You're not? You thought it was great? Oh, interesting. Well, okay.
Well, I had to look up Kingfish when he mentioned it, and it's a character on Amos and Andy, which is black actors, but their job, of course, is to look like fucking buffoons. And yeah, you made a character and didn't know it, and it seems like Kingfish. It'd be very offensive. I'm supposed to get back money from the government, but I ain't never paid the government. Why I get a refund? Everybody laughs because the animal doesn't pay his taxes. Yeah, it's very offensive.
Boy, Keith breaks it down. Okay, thanks for unoffending it for us, Keith.
Well, it's very offensive. It's worse than Jar Jar Binks because they're human beings. Yeah.
Well, this episode with Wyatt Cenac was got a big response from people, and I think we should do like a KATGuh for best episode of the year, because this and this is for 2022. If you guys want to put that into that thread, because we have nothing to do with this. So yeah, because this got such a response, and it's one of those things where that episode was a different pace than a different Keith and the Girl episode. And it was really good, but it does something for us as hosts. Like, hey, if this feels different to us, will it be a good different for people or a bad different for people? And it was very fun to get a good response from that.
On a very special Keith and the Girl.
Right.
School special.
Best
Did you like that episode? Do you remember it, Newsy?
I do remember the episode. I remember it's funny. Earlier today, I was just like, the way that I listen to podcasts, it's usually while I'm doing an activity. And I wonder if at every moment I'm going to be like, well, at this time I was playing Spider-Man, but I was playing Spider-Man at the time of this story because I can still remember what was happening. And even going forward, it lives in my head. And I'm like, it's one of those stories that you go forward and you tell the people in your life and you're like, Jon Stewart, huh? Well, let me tell you a little bit about this fucking guy. Like that's what that story did for me. I'm just like, okay, cool. Taking you down a peg. No problem. Locked and loaded. But yeah, that was a great episode. I love hearing that kind of stuff. And also, like, I don't know, having meltdowns in the office and like screaming. Yeah. I don't ever want to be in that position. And how aren't you embarrassed? Like, this is that bring back some shame stuff of like, aren't you embarrassed yelling at this black guy in the audience to the point where the fucking dogs are scared?
Right. That was weird. The dog thing. Yeah. And also at the end of that episode, because we were asking him.
You say in the audience, in the writers' room, to be clear.
Yeah. The writers' room. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is a person, like, we're asking him personal stuff that affects his professional career. And so at the end, you kind of hope that he doesn't, feel suddenly like it was gotcha questions or it was a little too much. After the show ended, he was like, that was really good to talk about. And that feels good as well, because no matter what, like, this person at least felt good telling that story that, affects him, has affected him, will affect him, and will change people's minds in a way like Newsy's did. This is what happened. This is a piece of it.
And can you imagine he didn't come back and say, hey, can we cut that part out? I don't know about that.
Right.
He did not do any of that.
Yeah, a real comics a real guy's guy,
Julia Scotti.
Okay, now. Oh boy. I don't want to be that.
I got words for you.
Yeah, I hate when I do that, and I just did it, but it was such a visceral response. Okay, now let's just be polite. Let's just, we don't have to do that. Let's move along.
All right, up next. Oh, this fight. This is tough because it's more one-sided, but I almost lost a friend. I don't even know how we got through it, to be honest. I guess time heals all things. This is from episode 3399. Keith versus Craig Klein, but Craig didn't even know it. He wasn't there. Mortal Kombat. Can I tell you about Mortal Kombat on TV?
Yes, you can tell me about that. And I don't understand how that became a thing.
This world all around would be a utopia if people didn't lie about things they don't have to lie about.
Okay.
Don't act like that Mars picture, all brown, is exciting. And when this Mortal Kombat movie is good, Craig, when this Mortal Kombat movie is terrible, I mean, I don't say it's great.
Shots fired, Craig.
It's not, Craig, it's not great. It makes no fucking sense. We have to be in a tournament to if they win one more time in a Earth loses one more time in a Mortal Kombat tournament, they have to give over Earth to the demons. Okay, that's all I need. So you wait until the tournament and you solve things. Actually, I'm the bad guy. I'm going to kill the people ahead of time. Okay, or do that. No one gives a fuck. Nothing makes sense. How do people get their superpowers? Oh, they get them in a special temple of holiness. Okay, that's all you had. What are your superpowers? Whatever the video game said. Nothing has to make sense. Maybe if you get angry enough, you get a superpower. You get lasers in your eyes, or you get a spinning hat. You don't know what you're going to get. Nothing makes sense. And you said it's great. And then he said,
oh boy,
my one-time friend said this to me. He goes, my friend from way back, but not now, said this to me. That, like, what do you expect? It was a video game movie. Have you ever heard anything dumber?
I think I have. We've had guests on that I wasn't very.
I think throwing out your wife's finger because it grossed you out is smarter. Not smart, smarter. There's no writer that knows how to write a video game movie. It's impossible because they focused on the action. I go, Craig, we could have wrote this. And he goes, yeah, you're right. Okay, then can we lower the word great? That's why we get shit, because you guys rate it's great. And I get why, because then you feel like you wasted your time. You're the idiot. No, they're the idiots. They put out shit. You shouldn't have known better. So you didn't know better.
You're saying
you have
don't
some
blame.
fun going, a superpower is a spinning hat. Wouldn't that have been fun to do? But instead, you got to keep your lie together and go, I didn't expect Oscar worthy. Well, I didn't expect a kick in the dick. But here we are. I'm on the ground and you're a fucking liar. Raiden's like, oh, I can't interfere. I'm a god. I could save the whole day. Then later he interferes and saves people. They go, Raiden, I thought you couldn't interfere. He looks at the camera and winks. Okay, but never mind. You let that one guy with the spinning hat die. Spoiler, he dies. Why'd you do that? Don't worry about it, Keith. It's not Oscar rating.
You can't say spoiler after.
I don't know the rules. They're marked by, you know, when you get taken to the tournament, you know how you know? You have
somebody says, get over here.
You have a birthmark. The birthmark is the Mortal Kombat logo. It's a dragon, an obvious dragon in a circle on your arm. All these people, they grew up being like, that's a weird birthmark. It's a dragon. Ask a doctor. Your birthmark, that's weird. It's a fucking dragon. I'm going to wait until somebody comes through a teleport and tells me what's up. But right now, it's a weird birthmark of a perfectly shaped dragon.
But what if it is? Why is that? It's so mad.
It's so dumb. And you can only fight in the tournament unless you have that mark. Unless, of course, you kill somebody with that mark. Now you have the mark. What if like a dweeb accidentally hits somebody in a DUI? Now he's like, I got to fight the International Space Tournament. I was drunk. That let me tell you, Milo. I ran over somebody with a dragon birthmark by accident. I go to jail, of course. My license suspended. That's half my fucking problem. Now I'm going to go to Outworld and fight a 400-pound, four-armed Jabba the Hutt motherfucker.
But do you get special things happen to you? Like,
if I get
powers?
angry in the Holy Temple, then yeah, maybe I can kick sideways. You know, I could shoot a fireball. Yeah, if I hopefully I make it there in time. They're like, what's your power? It's like, I don't know. I just got in a drunk driving accident. And they're like, I don't like your drunk driving, but you're on our side. Let's train a little bit, Oh, my God. Yeah, it's a great movie. Stop it. Behave. Craig. Craig also told me he sees this movie. I mean, maybe he's just so smart. He can go like, I am now in game movie mode. Click. This guy saw the movie Mother. And I go, I don't know what happened in it. He goes, it was about the Bible, duh. And I go, did you read that after the fact? He goes, no, it was obvious. This scene represented Cain and Abel. This represented Noah. So you're obviously, let me tell you something, Craig. You're a genius. So how is this movie great? I'm accepting new friends. I have a spot open. Shame on you. Who's that live for? It was great. Who is that live for? I was the only one you were talking to. That's not it. We weren't even playing that game. Why did you lie?
I'm accepting.
Because I did move on from that and just explain, I only revisited for the sake of the show. But now I'm livid again.
Now, I just want to point out that was under best fight. Mm-hmm. And Keith's solo fight was 6 minutes long.
Would it have been longer if he was there or not there?
It would have been 12 minutes.
It would have been 12 minutes. I think it would have been.
I don't know. I think this should have been under Goofiest, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And also,
I don't make the rules.
Sometimes when Keith talks about Craig on this show, or if you listen to Diamond Dogs, or if you're in the chat on a Wednesday night, you'll see Keith and Craig interacting, and you wonder, how are these people friends, right? And then as time goes by, you go, I think Craig is thinking, how are we friends? And you're like, okay. And then time goes by a little bit more, and Keith says something so fucking goofy and over the top that Craig cracks up and starts over. Then they're friends again. They kind of agree on something until they disagree so fucking like on an emotional, spiritual level. And then we all go, wait, are you guys your best friend, right? Like what? And then the cycle continues. So shout out to Craig. See you at chat tonight.
Speaking of, not wanting to be that guy or something, but like Keith Mallett, can you write a fantasy script or something? I would just like to know. Yeah. I would just like to know what your superhero movie looks like, what the rationality behind their powers looks like. I'm just curious. That's all,
Challenge.
Not only can I rate a movie better than Mortal Kombat, I will rate it between now and the chat. What do you think of that? We'll all act it out.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Kickstarter bonus.
You cannot just start that shit talking.
You heard me.
We will be there tonight.
Hi, I'm Raiden. Please, it takes no fucking skill.
See you tonight.
Also, when Keith says he's accepting new applications for friends, I want to see the survey, and it's just movies, and you have to click like good, bad, or shit. And then that's like the test of Keith's friendship.
But the final question is, how do you define great?
Right. Final question.
Get over here.
I'll tell you what I enjoyed. I enjoyed that when we played that, I saw Newsy's face, and every so often he's like, really? That'd be stupid in a movie. Oh, yeah, that did happen. You get your powers from a temple? Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, you just get this? Yeah. You were like, no, he's exaggerating this part of the movie. Nope. No, he's not. And that feels good. And
it felt awesome. You were like laser eyes. Yeah. Sonya Blade. She's got little pink rings that come out of her hands. Doesn't make sense to me. Give it all to me. Don't matter.
Right. Because it's all you got. And you're like, thank you for the little bit, Hollywood.
Yeah. Wow. He turned it on you somehow. You didn't even write it. You just enjoyed it. And you're an ass.
I express gratitude and fuck me.
That's what I'm saying. People express gratitude for, but well, you get what I'm saying. Here's another one. Here's another movie complaint under best fight. Another one-sided conversation. This is with Casey Blasham, Keith versus Kyle Ocasio. In plain sight. Me and Kyle are going through something. And I mean, she'll hear this. This is News Star, but it shouldn't be. And that's what's more offensive. So we watch our movies virtually sometimes, so I don't get too involved with the kids. And she picked a movie on Netflix called Hidden in Plain Sight. And she goes, oh, this looks good. Now, I know when she goes through movies, she just either sees a picture or, of course, the 2 cents description. And it's like, this seems, she'll be at a restaurant and be like, steak. Oh, that looks good. I'm like, yeah, baby, but just the word. But okay. Steak. Okay. So she shows that movie and she goes, any suggestions? And I name suggestions. I write, what's the one you just told me about? And the Empire of the Sun is somehow a classic that I missed. I'm excited to see that. I go, Cherry, this movie with Spider-Man in it. Very excited. Spider-Man at War. But anyway.
But okay.
She goes, well, it seems like 2 movies that are highly recommended. And then she goes, how about Hidden in Plain Sight? And at this point, I'm like, you didn't just ignore it. Sometimes it's like, do these people not see the left side of their screen all of a sudden? I'm like, did you see I wrote Cherry? Did you see I wrote Empire of the Sun? She goes, yeah, how about blah, blah, blah? Looks good. I go, okay, then we'll watch this. So I start watching it. You ever see these movies where right away it's a, no offense, I know you had stand up on Lifetime, Casey, but these Lifetime type shit movies. And I don't know how I know, but it's right away. It's like they set the sound to garbage and even the font is dumb. And you're going to say, hi, how are you? As the first line, I'm going to be like, oh, this whole thing is bullshit. So I'm watching and it's just crap. The bad guy's going to be, you can tell no one's going to die, even in a Lifetime type movie in this piece of shit. And then I start texting and I'm on text number 5 about making fun of this movie. I could tell she's not there. And I go, I swear to God, if I'm watching this alone, she goes, no, I'm really watching it fully. And I brush my teeth, wash my face, did my mud mask. She's on timeout right now and can no longer. If only she knew someone who knew movies. If only.
But is she watching on a laptop, bringing it into?
Yes, Chemda. Oh, no, is she on the phone with the director? And it's the only time she can talk to him. And we'll catch up later. Yes, Chemda, that could be it. That could be it.
Wait, isn't Hidden in Plain Sight? Isn't that the documentary about the girl that was kidnapped twice?
It's a documentary about me killing my girlfriend.
Ah, yes.
No, it's fake bullshit.
Okay.
At least the one I saw. I mean, it sounds like you just picked that title from a book. Now that I think about it, it had nothing to do with the movie.
I know. No, but you know what? I get that about movie suggestions because sometimes we'll be on Netflix and I'll be like, how about this? How about this? And he just completely doesn't say anything and just keeps skipping. I'm like, at least just say no.
Acknowledge me.
At least let me know that you heard me say 5 movie titles. Yes, they're all rom-coms from the year 2002. That's my special genre that makes me feel lovely. But just say no. Like, stop saying, because he'll always suggest a Marvel something. And I'm like, absolutely, we need to go into 2 different rooms. This is not going to, we clearly don't have the same taste in movies. And we're just realizing that 8 years later.
But why would you think, my love, why would you think you just go into another room and it wouldn't bother me if I'm only watching it alone? Do you think I'm going to reference it at the end? And what are you going to go? Mm-hmm. Somebody was not thinking about me. That's my point. Somebody was not thinking about me.
I understand. I think that you should put her on time. I think you shouldn't talk to her again for a year.
I'm not going to, I'll tell you what, I do care about her very much. I'm not going to talk to the kids for a year.
There you go. Even if they're there.
Right. They wouldn't care. Honest to God, they wouldn't care. They don't do what we're joking. Yeah,
they don't care. They've got phones.
They're fine. If I could redo this, I would put under most heartbreaking.
Yes, we know. And what's funny about fighting with you is you're mostly fighting yourself. Yep. And that's weird and awkward, but it's sweet because you get over it pretty quick because you're fighting yourself and you're like, self, do I need to be angry anymore? No. And then it's fine. You don't even have to state your points. Keith just calls you goofy in his head. You know how a priest goes, say 5 Hail Marys. So Keith goes, I said 5 goofies at you. And then we're fine now. This is not really, we're good.
How often does Kyle text you back you mad? Just sending you memes of just oh, you mad about this? Well,
in her defense, she doesn't know when I forgave her through the talking to myself.
Well, nobody knows when you're mad either. Who cares?
Yeah, it's all good. It all works out. All right, final thing. You picked it. Best fight. This is from last week, number 153. I'm seeing a pattern.
I don't like this one, and I'm gonna have to ask you to go back to that episode and please take this out. Thank you.
This is Keith versus Chemda. This time, all parties are involved.
Ooh.
The King of Staten Island.
Delete. King of Staten Island. What's that Staten Island thing?
Yeah. The King of Staten Island.
How dare you recommend this? Because I saw half of it.
You're saying I recommended it?
So Xerxes and I saw half of it, and I'm like, why did we decide to see this at all? And didn't you even send it to us? Like this was.
I might have sent it to you. No.
Why would you send it to me?
This was so good. That's what I said. This is so.
Well, why would you send it to me? Since when do you send me movies?
Because I got it from somebody and it was illegal. You'd have to go to the movie theater to see it. So thief.
Why would you want me to see this?
I don't want you to do anything. I want you out of my fucking life. What happened was I happened to have a movie and you can't leave the house. Would you like this? It's free. It's people from SNL. You might dig it. I didn't mean to ruin your day. Again, a year and a half fucking later when it's on TV anyways. I'm sorry I put you out. I don't even know how you found it. Get a wall calendar, right? You have the movie everyone's talking about.
It will be right there in her face.
Yeah.
Did you see this movie?
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's just such fucking. It's so whiny and so. Are we
He's gonna
supposed
get work at the end after all?
Of course he is. But are we supposed to be on this dude's side
Yes.
the whole time?
Not during
the whole time.
Yeah, probably the whole time.
He is a piece of shit garbage, doesn't take any responsibility for himself. Bill Burr is an asshole, but like fucking deals with his shit at least. What is this? Oh, so embarrassed for that girl he thinks he's better than because I don't know why. Oh my God. Tattoo's a 9-year-old. Okay.
I need you right now. Me and Karen will continue for 2 minutes. I want you to go tell Xerxes I did not recommend that movie and say it's so fucking good. See it, whatever the cost. I didn't say that about Casablanca. You just got. By the way, I said all that, and it's a year and a half later. But I said all that.
No, you did. My point is, first of all, you should feel good about the fact that we were confused that it was you who sent us this piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
I figure if you're going to, you never recommend a movie.
If
so
if you could duplicate a car for free, would you steal it? Yeah, what?
No,
Chemda would complain. No. So this car.
No. When you recommend a movie, I take that shit seriously. There's very few that you would recommend and speak highly of. So if you're sending it to me, but
literally praise, apparently.
If you send me a movie,
I love tattoos. You know, I love tattoos.
If you're sending me the movie, you're saying this is worth your time. Can I at least admit that this is worth your time?
No.
Why do you send it to me?
Why don't we get a time machine? See what I said a year and a half ago, and I bet it's something like I got. What's up?
This is unprecedented. I know, but I secede. What's the word for it? I give. You win.
Forfeit.
I forfeit. Whatever word you want.
Okay.
This clip needs to be over. You are so. Look at his face now.
Feels good. Also, just for the record,
this was 10 minutes long.
You finally finished this movie, right?
I did.
What were your thoughts on that?
Oof.
It got better. I liked it.
Okay.
I'm thinking like, oh, surprise. The exposition of the movie actually ended up changing somehow from the beginning. Weird.
Yeah, okay, but it did get really nice. I liked it.
Okay. Are we over this one then?
Yes.
We got your apology?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's really, it was like a game changer. It was one of those game changer moments in the Keith and Girl world where we have to reestablish what a recommendation is. And from that point on, everyone's just like, do you recommend this or do you recommend it? So now going forward, you know that maybe sometimes if Keith's giving you a thing, meh.
Yes. And I think I see his point. And it was the start of the pandemic. I didn't see the relevance when we first argued about it. But since then, I do believe that we've had conversation where I was like, okay, already, which I guess shouldn't equal, I apologize. But here I am. I will cut off this clip and say I'm sorry.
I'm going to accept that.
Okay,
All right.
by accepting it, can people not vote for it? Or are people still going to be able to vote for it?
You could still vote for it. I took the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
All right. So you can hear the whole thing last week, number 153, 40 minutes in. All right. Make it a you day. All right. There we go. That is the category for best fight. We are now on to biggest political statement. Biggest political, again, another political year. You hate to see it, but you know, people on both aisles, yada yada. Let's start with episode 3470, Aaron Rodgers and Joe Rogan. So what I was saying is Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for the Packers, the Green Bay Packers, a team that's doing very well, 7-2, which is of course amazing. He was one of these people that was like, hey, are you vaccinated? He's like, yeah, no problem, sir. Let me just say that. Like, yeah, sure. And you got the vaccination, inoculated. Yeah, no problem. Well, it turns out he has COVID now, and they find out he never got the shots, and I think that's a lie. I think he's a liar. And he's going to Halloween parties unvaccinated, and he's huddling with his group, spitting all over the place, unvaccinated. That's dangerous. That's a bad person. So he goes, and I'm not exaggerating. He says, I got my advice from Joe Rogan, and I learned that there's things you can do instead of getting the shot. Now, first of all, this Joe Rogan experience, it's goop for men. Okay. Don't come on. Yeah. Laugh at it. He's very funny. But you don't need a vagina candle. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't need spices for an orgasm. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes your silence is actual laughter. That's part of the charm.
I apologize. There's 2 apologies in this one. But
Somebody that I know just went into Mexico, and on the shelves in like the pharmacia, there's a whole shelf of ivermectin and a whole shelf of hydrochloroquine or whatever the fuck. You can just get that and go.
My favorite part of that was Goop for Men. Oh, if we can call this episode Goop for Men. Oh.
All right. Up next, under biggest political statement, this is with Rod Morrow and Newsy, episode 3460. Dave Chappelle can't let it go. I can't picture him following the story of Stonewall. I think somebody told him that. I'll tell you why I think this. He's 48 years old. I think somebody told him about Stonewall and saying this new generation is a bunch of pussies. He goes, I like that. I'm going to grab onto that and say it. And I say that because he's 48 and mentioned in his special, he finally looked up the word feminism and it blew his mind that meant 2 people are equal. Well, this is your 4th fucking special about the transgender community. Read that it's not a noun.
Yeah. I think also the people shouting at him now that are LGBTQ, that is the Stonewall energy. So it's very weird to be like, back then they would just tell you off, and it's like, well, that's what they're doing. They're telling you off. They're telling you how it makes them feel. And they're saying, fuck you. And you take it personal. Like you had 4 specials you had already signed up for, right? You don't have to talk about this shit. You're the one that keeps going back, right? Like you could be like, okay, I made trans jokes the first special, it didn't go over well. I made him the second special, didn't go over well. I made him the third special, it didn't go. But this fucking 4th special, like, dude, you say you don't give a fuck. This is Kevin Hart's like no more F's to give, and the whole stand-up's about how his feelings are hurt. You do care. Just admit that you fucking care. And
everybody cares.
And even the fans of the special, is weird watching them online because they're not saying I enjoyed it. They're saying I have to defend it, which is a weird thing to do with comedy. Like if you walk out of you listen to someone's stand-up album, you watch someone's show, you don't go, I can't wait to fucking get on here and argue about it. No, you go, oh man, that was so good. That was so funny. It made me feel like I had fun. Not like I want to go own some people on the other side of this thing.
And maybe you can't be, and it's exhausting. And maybe you can't be taught about. I bet you there's something Bobby Flay can't make, and he let it go.
Right.
Let it go.
It's now Bobby Flay's fourth season trying to make creme brulee. He's like, no, I'm gonna get it right, y'all. Actually, it's even worse. Cake. It's him burning the creme brulee and then being like, "This is good. This is good creme brulee.
Eat it." So true. So true. What?
That's another episode that I thought was, it stays with me, and Newsy was on there. Such good points that you made. I feel like this was a very hard clip to take out of that show, especially the segment about Dave Chappelle special, which I think took over at least half the episode. When we were done with that, we were like, oh, Newsy and Rod, the best guests for that episode. You had such great, awesome points, and they were very hilarious. Shout out to the black guy who tips. Of course, if you're not listening to that, you're making a mistake.
Right. I feel like in the past, people have, I think maybe Rod and Keith have said that Chappelle is trying to like set a bar for like, oh, is this what the offensive thing is? Well, I'm going to do that because I can do that. I just watched the Netflix stand-up special and Mark Normand has one. And like it's almost like you can see somebody running up for like the setup or whatever. And I was like, oh, and here comes a trans joke. And let's see if you land it. And you landed it. All right.
No, it can be done. So it can be done.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and I'm serious about this. It looks like if you're new to this, I do stand up once a year, literally, and we tape that. And I take it very seriously. With that said, I haven't been able to do it because of the pandemic, and I do miss it. And I don't know that I feel comfortable this April either with everything that's going on. But I'm thinking of a stand-up idea where I go to my old albums. I mean, we're at like 14 now. I go to my old albums and things that were too much that I would never do again, have it be played and then discuss that. For example, like Brumsky, great joke, very funny, but I do say in it like, that's gay. I don't do anything that's gay. Now, I would never say that. And then I immediately apologize in real time. Like, first of all, I do everything. and then go into stand-up. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Keith Malley, let's discuss. That's the stand-up title.
Okay. Right. Let's discuss. I'm into that.
I want to be there for that. I'll tell you that. If that's any indication. Yeah.
But anybody who might say that people can't change. Come on. I got a whole stand-up album full of it.
Yeah. Because you don't piss me off with movies, you can be part of it. Okay. Let's see. Best political statement. This one's called Compromise. You'll find this video at keithandthegirl.com/kick. It starts where I found the forums trickster. I found a guy making political points against my points on our forums. Then he didn't think he was being listened to. And so he put up a fake name, and that person happened to agree with him completely. And it's my birthday. I love that stuff.
That is so uncomfortable. Oh my God.
Right. These are these people, they go, Keith, you're wrong about this. You got your Kyle Rittenhouse facts wrong. You fucking idiot. And I go, well, what can I tell you? I disagree with you. They're like, wow, you can't even see the other side. I'm like, this is a trick because you just did the exact same thing. These people. What can't we have both sides come together? Oh, what a hot take. They're all about compromising the side that disagrees with me. I'm so sure. And how do you compromise some of this stuff, right? Okay. How about we stop fracking, but you get to dump 50% more chemicals into the ocean? A little for me, a little for you. Right? How do we get together? Abortion is legal, but Black lives don't matter. We compromise. Is that fair? You have to be vaccinated, but the first 3 school shootings a year, nobody's good. Can we compromise, people? Too much. It's too much.
It's so funny, Keith, how comfortable you are with people making very specific fools of themselves. Where this is like the phrase that I use, I'm under the table. And is that an actual phrase? But I just want to hide, and you're like, oh, it's my birthday. You'll bring it up again. You'll say it very clearly on the forums in response to both of the different names. And in the back of my mind, even though you have the proof, you know it to be true. In the back of my mind, I'm like, what if you're wrong? And and this is another person, and that's so stupid. And what I'm proud of in my later years is that voice went down. So If it used to be 10 or maybe 20%, that voice is at 1% and it gets disappeared pretty quickly. We know what we're looking at. We don't want to be tricked. That's it.
Right. To this day, we still haven't seen like a picture of guy A and a picture of guy B, like waving at each other and stuff like that. Like, I'm not him because I'm over here.
He just wished me well. He heard our last show where I talked about having COVID. He wished me well. He's glad I got over it. I'm like, you're not real. You're not a person. Amazing. I love it. Keep doing it.
Newsy, do you like it or are you uncomfortable? Who do you relate with more?
You know what? If Keith has the time, I love it. You know, that's
okay.
Like,
okay.
It's just like, come on, you're gonna do dumb stuff. Then it comes up. Sorry, you're gonna do clown stuff, and clownery happens back at you. Whatever the phrase is.
Well, that shit was better than behind closed sight. Tell you that much.
Did you ever watch Emperor of the Sun?
I haven't yet. No.
You haven't? Okay.
That's my New Year's resolution.
Oh wow, big goals. You know, if you watch
feel
that
good
1 minute every day, you could make it to the end of the year, and that's a goal.
I see it on January 6th, and done.
Yeah, every time you watch 1 minute, you accomplished your goal.
All right, here we are. Best rant, the final category.
Love this.
All right, up first from last week. This is in your VIP package, of course. Last week, number 134. This is where we go throughout the week. And we type, so Newsy show, Q&A, he goes into today's date and goes into the past and finds those shows. Speaking of things you got to, make note of that we said. With last week, we just followed the very last week. How were those specific guests behind the scenes and otherwise? Okay. This is from last week, number 134 with Karen Morrow, cats versus dogs.
In this episode, we found out that there are COVID-19 dogs. What do you think COVID smells like to the dogs?
Popcorn? I feel like popcorn's a big one, or chicken.
It is. These dogs, like, how do cats even think they can fucking compete? These dogs can smell COVID. They can smell cancer. They can smell your stress.
Yeah.
And the things a cat can do, tell you to fuck off, tell you to eat your own dick and scratch you up a bit. How is it debatable? Are you a dog person or a piece of dumb shit? That's what they should ask people.
What is happening?
I know what is happening. You're right. What the fuck is happening? That's the two types of people. That's like saying, well, maybe, kid, you're from New York. You don't believe in white supremacy. This is how we feel. You like cats better than dogs? Yeah, I like their attitude. Well, now I'm pissing on you. Are we best friends? Okay. A dog, you cry. A dog licks your tears.
Mm-hmm.
You cry, a cat takes a shit on the carpet. I'll give you something to cry about. That's what cats do. Dogs lick your tears. I didn't train it to do that. And a cat goes, I'll give you something to cry about. But we're supposed to debate. What kind of person are you? Are you a dumb fuck? That wasn't, it's not these people's faults, of course. It's how they were raised. But get help. You're being abused.
Oh, you ever have
dogs hug you. You ever see you come back from the war and a cat jumps out the window and hug? No, you never saw that. Cat scratching the eye because you need a bed again. Going back to war, honey. Jesus, I forgot about this fucking thing. Feline.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start a Keith and the girl fight over cats and dogs.
Fighting like cats and dogs. This is what they mean. Guess who's fighting? Guess who started it? The dog, just trying to get by. Oh, that's funny. Those videos where a huge fucking dog is scared to go down the steps because a tiny cat is there. Well, guess what the story is? The cat's a brick. Blaming the victim like the dog's a pussy, no pun. No, the pussy's a pussy. An asshole cunt. Yes, it's true. It's true. Anyway, everybody's different, and some people like the Confederate flag.
Oh, good. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. What was the question? I'm a dog person.
How about you, Chemda? You cat.
Oh, this was about COVID. Yeah, they can smell COVID. That's cool.
Yeah, but say,
Right.
I don't know. For me, I never was allowed to have animals at my house.
Right.
At all. My mom was like, if it does not speak English, it can't live here. And I was
like, ooh, that's also racist.
You ever been to somebody's house and the cat they go, oh, the cat likes you. The cat doesn't like anybody. That's a selling point to your cat. The cat doesn't like anybody. Well, that's fun to have around for anybody. And also, I tricked you when you were in the kitchen. I held the cat down for a second. Now we're friends. Because it likes to be dominated. Otherwise, you look like a piece of shit. It sounds like I was just doing abuse. No, that's how cats feel loved. You're an asshole back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Cats.
Poor cats.
Why?
Hey, you know what you're supposed to do? Not declaw them. Okay. I put knives in their hands. I tape knives to them because why not? They're indoors, so give them a fucking machete. You never know. Don't worry, they can take care of themselves.
You know what? They actually can. They'll run away and come back. And
of course they can.
Yeah, they're very independent animals. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And they will fuck you up. I've seen it firsthand. So I'm a dog person. So
okay.
I'll give you a middle finger when you feed them. Dogs thank you with their eyes. They're like, thank you, good guy. That was.
Okay.
Anyway, it's exciting, this COVID thing. It could be scary if there's a history of certain races and dogs. That could be a bummer if you're going to a stadium and a dog sniffs you and, determines your fate. That might be might put you off a little bit. Oh, no. Oh, no. You know what? When I asked, would the rant have been shorter or longer with if Craig was in the room? This answers your question. Because I'm done like 4 times. And then she goes, oh, no. And I'm like, no, not oh, no. Oh, these poor cats. No, not these poor cats. She kept winding me up.
Keith really is Columbo. And another thing. He's Andy Rooney Columbo mixed.
And I like Chemda. Like, are we really calling people who like cats dumb fucks today? I don't know where this is going, but she said, oh, no.
It is pretty easy to provoke Keith once he's in a state of mind. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you could see my expression. If he's on a rant, sometimes you'll see me I'm listening, I'm enjoying it, and then I'll just throw in another question that fucking lights him on fire.
Yeah, she does deliberately sometimes. That's true.
That's
true,
fun.
folks.
Have you ever done like a Zoom rant show where people like tip, and when they tip, they can like give you this topic and you rant about it for like X amount of time? Because I think I would go there. I'm like, I'm bored. I got a list of things. Let's go.
I'll do it on Chatterbait.
But somebody will be fisting you while you're doing it. So it's still everyone's getting something.
What did you think? You were pretty quick with thoughts. Like, oh yeah, keep talking or you feel it.
Like Keith said, that was from the VIP episode from last week with Karen. And you should be a VIP member at keithandthegirl.com/VIP. If you want to just try it out, go to keithandthegirl.com/VIP. Put in code free trial. There's no space there. It's all one word, free trial. And you'll get a week. Try it out. Try Newsy's show. Try last week on Keith and the Girl. Check it out.
Brand new daddy issues. Me and my youngest brother talk about my dad. There'll be a new Diamond Dogs this month. Exciting stuff. Best rant. Here's the next category, or the next topic, rather. From episode 3434, 3,434. Ross, Rachel, and the end of the world.
Okay, but we all understand they were on a break, right?
No, of course they were on a break. You can do what you want.
How is this even a thing? Yeah, thank you.
Because the world's nuts. What percent aren't getting vaccinated? The world's nuts. That's what I knew. There was no such thing as world peace. People can't agree. First of all, that was the easiest version of what color is the dress, and half the planet failed. You broke up. You may fuck other people. That just means if you said no, she shouldn't fuck that. That means you're a game player. That means you're like, yeah, we're not together. You could do what you want. Do the right thing.
Thank you.
You're a trickster game player, bitch.
Okay.
And then, of course, the dress is, golden, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, actually, we found the original dress, and it's blue and black. Don't believe it. But this is the original dress. So the answer is the dress. No, I said golden white. God damn it.
Honestly, I think Ross was way more clear than that dress.
This is what I'm saying.
Very clear thing.
Yeah, so we're not going to have any luck with this fucking dress. We're not going to have luck with people driving on the same side of the road. Quit trying. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
World peace. What planet? Thank you. So Britney Spears is naked. And
this is our quit trying who gives a shit section.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
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 This is for, Keith, maybe you and your dad can get along again, even though he hit on your ex-wife. Ross and Rachel. What? Ross and Rachel. They were on a break. What's this have to do with your dad? What's the point? The world is shit and people can't change.
Is there anyone out there listening who doesn't know what we mean when we say they were on a break? Because this is a very far away reference, and yet it is still here. So, I mean, wow. No wonder they were getting $1 million each an episode.
I think they got by the context clues. I think they said, if you want me to say something I hope they said, if you want me to say something so stupid, I need $1 million an episode. I hope they didn't think this was good writing. But see, people can see the other side. So what? People are QAnon in the future. Don't encourage stupid behavior. You help make a world where if you break up with somebody, and I mean broken up, you can't fuck somebody else. That's what you even put out there. And people grab onto it. And now people think that way, and you have an insurrection. Well, surprise or fucking prize. Who knew that would happen? Who knew the world would be burning? You know the title of that show? The One That Broke the World. That's what they called that. Let's just throw out something stupid and see who globs onto it. Like, no, rating's important. If you must see TV, God damn it. It's an important, art is art, but it's kind of important, your time slot. And you made the world you said, no matter how dumb you are, you have a place with us. Ding, ding, ding. Fuck off. Amen, Keith. Amen. Representation matters, and you can see the pattern going on, and it all stems from this. It's up to the content creators to know better, and it's us to know better, and not when something is good or adequate when it's not. Yeah, this is a very mindful episode. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is just awakening us more to what a great life Keith has when this is his biggest fucking rant of the year.
This is it. This is what she was just saying. This
should have been under biggest political statement, Keith. Come on.
You're right. This is the Big Bang of bullshit.
That quote in there, world peace, what planet?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I keep reflecting on it. I'm just like, yeah. What on this one? Don't think so.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Mortal Kombat was great. Ross and Rachel starting a real conversation. World peace. What planet?
Well, we did find someone who didn't know what the breakup really meant, or they were on a break. I had to explain it to Rod next time we were on last week on Keith and He's like, I don't know a lot of white people shit sometimes.
Speaking, you mentioned the end of democracy or something like that. I just got a text message from some political group in Pittsburgh. They're holding a candlelight vigil for democracy tomorrow, as it's the 1-year anniversary of the January 6th riot. So they're gonna hold a candlelight vigil for this democracy that we've lost. And Keith, you're right. What chance do we have?
Yeah,
that's a COVID spreader.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm like, you know what? Join a church group. I was wrong. Jesus.
As long as it's not QAnon, go fucking for it.
All right, here it is. Me and media again. Best rant, episode 3459. People liked it when I talked about Squid Game with Ophira Eisenberg.
And I believe this is
this person, Sunshine and Melon, says, I actually liked it. Sorry, it's a whole process. What was
that? I believe this is before I saw Squid Game. So it's just mentally, it's fun to go back. Thank you for stopping the clip from a very important statement.
If Chemda defends Squid Game, keep that in mind. All right, here we go. This person, Sunshine and Melon, says, I actually liked it. The ending sucked, but the rest of the series I enjoyed watching. Holy fuck. You mean the ending that would explain things you didn't like? But other than that, a great 8 hours, 45 minutes.
All right. Don't put down Sunshine and Melon.
Right. Of all people to put down.
Yeah.
Everyone loves melons of some sort.
Well, Sunshine
Right?
and Melon
Sunshine?
then wrote, oh, so you watched it for the hype. Ha ha.
Well,
Well, would you watch it
technically
for
did.
What did
You
she watch it
did.
for? The art? She just loves horribly dubbed Korean shows that play games to the death. That's her thing. It had nothing to do with the
entertainment.
hype that it's the number one thing being watched in the world.
You know what
Sometimes people
Keith's
just watch
show
things
should
for-
be?
No,
Keith's
she's
show should
lying.
be like not the review of the movie, the review of all the reviews.
Yes.
Review
Savage
roundup.
Savage Svag says, did you watch the English dub? Because if you did, that's your fault. Okay. Should have watched in its original language with subtitles. I should have taken a Korean
No.
class. Fuck you. Now the original language with subtitles was great. First of all, you wouldn't know that. I know of this
Because you didn't watch
person.
it.
Let's say you watched it with subtitles. You don't know how that Korean acting is. First of all, I saw the physical movements. It's not good, but you don't know what they're saying. You're just hearing them. You're hearing like a tone, and you're like, that was real good. You don't know.
Did you wake up in the morning and go like, oh, I hate that Squid Games. Wait, is there more to hate? Can I hate all the people that hate Squid Games?
That love Squid Games.
I love Squid Games, right?
Yeah, or love. Well, that person said they didn't like part of it.
The acting of all the Korean actors was great. The acting of the VIPs, the only ones who spoke English, the rich people were American, it seemed, because English-speaking people are evil, was the only thing I couldn't stand. Their dialogue was shit. Their delivery was shit. Right, because this person speaks English and could tell the acting was bad. You didn't speak Korean, so you thought all those people were good. I hope you don't have
explains
kids.
how you really feel.
Yes.
Don't pass it down to the kid.
Make it a joke, Chemda. Keep living in a shitty fucking world where there's no honesty and no purity.
Keith, just
Well,
so
we
you know,
already lived
everything-
there.
Yeah, everything you say, I will turn into a joke. It's my joke show.
Yeah, but these people aren't joking. That's the
No.
thing. They're serious, and that's why the world's dying.
One of the many. Yes, one of the many.
It all stems from lying about things being good.
Now,
The bridges are good enough. The bridges are good enough. They get me where I need to be. Really, motherfucker? Because there's studies that the bridge is dying on Sunday. I don't know, Keith. Why you gotta hate so much? See a therapist. Oops, my car's in the fucking ocean. Oh, is it? It's Tuesday. Is your car in the ocean now? You don't like bridges now, and you don't like Squid Game. You want good bridges, and you want good TV shows. Stop making. You don't know these people. It's okay that it was shit.
How did a bridge fall in this fantasy
It's called
world of yours?
infrastructure. I know it's not the sexiest topic, Farah, but look it up. 60 Minutes next Sunday. Tick, tick, tick,
Okay,
tick, tick, tick.
got it. Okay, Keith, not that I'm being paid in any way to give you any therapy, but what is the last thing that you liked?
Okay, we gotta go. It was fun, I think. I don't know. I can't tell.
This person wrote, I was okay with the ending. I don't know how he's going to bring the organization down if it gets a season 2. I'm sure they'll have something planned. Why are you sure? We didn't get the end to it. We don't know anything about the front man. We don't know why he stayed on the island. It was 9 hours. There wasn't a fucking ending. Who's the top dog of the survival games? We don't even know. Is the police officer dead or alive? Who fucking knows? Why do you think he has a clue if there's a season 2? He didn't have a clue in season 1. This is horribly written. Did those things go to the police station, the videos? Who knows? 9 hours. I don't know. That's the charm. He didn't even begin rating season 2. And the guy says, I would hire other raters for season 2. Good. Because I'd love a story.
You just told someone their review was bad writing.
So who in your life does the Squid Games remind you of?
Dad. I think this episode should be in the Smithsonian under the history section because I'm seeing a pattern again, and I'm right.
It's Keith saving the world.
Mhm.
And I did watch Squid Game since then. I could tell I didn't watch it then because I wasn't sure where Keith's rant was going. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I can see what you meant about the acting for sure. And it was a good point when they spoke English, the language that you do speak, it became more apparent. Good point. But I don't want to set you off on another rant. I thought it was a decent show. No, I didn't like the ending. It didn't negate the entire show. It was surprising. And it was sort of corny. Yes, it was very corny. It was very pushing agenda, but it did have something crazy special about it. And I don't know if you guys saw this. I still have yet to see it, but Xerxes brought this to my attention. I don't know if you guys know Mr. Beast, very huge on YouTube.
He did a real life Squid Game, right?
Yeah. Generally, his channel is really great. Even though he's like young and it's a lot of goofy shit, but he's changing the world in a lot of ways. Worth a look. And also, Keith, speaking of, have you seen?
But did you like it? Did you like that he did the Squid Game? I thought it was clever. Was there some point I'm missing though, where the irony is they are fighting for money in real life?
in Squid Game?
Yeah, the Squid Game in real life.
Mr. Beast
that he made, obviously not killing people, but it's pretty expensive to make.
Yeah, he actually is a millionaire of so many times over, and his.
So what do you think? Did he get is it just fun and frivolous, or did he kind of miss the point?
No, like I said, I didn't see it yet, but generally his whole thing is let's have fun with this. So he's not, if he's making a point, it's usually whatever money I'm making from this fun thing that we're doing is all going to charity. Gotcha. And he's pretty obvious about that, about where the charity's going, where the money's going, and he's a philanthropist of sorts. But did you see the movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and also like kind of scary. I feel like it's what you're saying. He's like, okay, keep not looking up and just, go about your business. But I'm telling you this. I feel like that's
that movie is brilliant. It's just as good as Dr. Strangelove. It's just as good as the main part of Idiocracy or Idiocracy rather. Excuse me. Yeah.
It's like the new Idiocracy.
Yeah. And when I see reviews of 1 star, I'm like, well, I figured out who you are, you fucking idiot.
When I was listening to the beginning of this clip and the person was saying like, oh, I liked it. And I liked like most of it. And the ending wasn't good. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to think of this analogy. It's going to be a gotcha one. And you're going to get Keith at the end of this. And like everything I thought of was like, yeah, no, that's still not a good time. I was like, what if you went on a road trip and it was so fun, but at the end you shit yourself? Did you not have fun through the road trip, or is it all shit because you shit yourself? It's just like, well, I had fun until I shit myself. And then that's my review. I had fun until I shit myself.
Yeah, and also like the fact that I shit myself does not negate any of that fun. Right. I still might have had fun as I was shitting myself. I was probably laughing.
I had so much fun that I shit myself.
Right.
A TV show is like I'm taking you on a journey, and I promise you on the last episode, nobody shits themselves. That's the understood promise between creator and consumer.
I see. I didn't see that contract.
Yeah, it's understood. It's understood by us moviegoers, Best rant. Here we go. Your final submission. This was with the great John F. O'Donnell.
Ooh. Is COVID real?
He got sucked in, man. This J-Fun News. He knows to play it cool with Keith and the girl, but he thinks there's trackers and everything. God damn it. Episode 3464, Fast Food Etiquette. When a customer at a Wendy's in Huntington, Tennessee complained his order was cold, I couldn't imagine ever doing that. He received a refund and a pan full of scalding hot oil thrown at him by the manager.
No.
The manager, 21 years old, faces assault charges for the attack that left the customer burned and blistered. I would never. Yeah, we know who's right and who's wrong here, but I would never go, hello, fast food worker, this is cold. You got your shit cold. You wasted a couple bucks. End the story. You're alive. You go in there, you go into a Burger King and you come out alive. That's good. If you get food, that's what goes in the diary. If you get hot food, you tell your friends and you don't go again to push it. It's like, that was the lottery for you. But you don't, this is cold. You're dead. You're dead now.
What a world is in Keith's head.
I've gotten the wrong order, of course, at a fast food restaurant, and I'll say, thank you for the wrong order. May I please have the right order? I fucked up. Then you can have the right order and you stay alive for the most part. That's the way you do it. I don't say I got the wrong order, but there's no buts. There's ands and thank yous. Thank you for the wrong order. I didn't touch it at all. If you have my order, thank you for that as well. But either way, and as I do it, I'm punching myself in the balls. I learned this trick in boot camp. Punish yourself before the drill instructor can do it. And it's way easier. You can stop your push-ups whenever you want.
This is our military.
I learned this in the military just in time for fast food buying as an adult. I say, I'm happy to be here, that you even had me. Here's the wrong order, but if I don't go wrong order, I go someone else's. I wouldn't say wrong. Nothing's wrong in these places. Okay? And you leave there with your normal face.
Wow, I just learned a whole lesson on how to act at the fast food restaurant.
Yeah. You're their bitch and know that. And
act accordingly.
They go, how are you? And I go, great. Would you like to throw your shoe at me? I'll say. Just like one of those pressure valves, just let them have a little here and again, like what if they spit in my, what if they spit in the, what if they throw oil on your face? Believe me, they're spitting in your food. Okay. That's a fact.
That's part of it.
You're
too.
in a hurry and you're hungry. Yeah, special sauce. But don't be corrected. It's cold. They almost cut off their dick and served it to you just to see the expression on your face for a TikTok video. It's nuts, these places. No pun.
I think you got a lot of sympathy for that burn victim, dude.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I took about, you tell your friends that you have a face where I see 5 layers deep now. And I go, oh, what happened? You poor thing. He's like, I told a fast food worker to go fuck himself. Oh, okay. Well, I was hoping he was like an old Vietnam bomb or something sad. I didn't know you're a fucking weirdo.
Keith, honestly, I did not think there was another perspective on this story. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Eyes open.
Yeah. Hot take Mally just totally flipped my lid with that one, dude.
You say eyes open. You hot soup indeed. You say eyes open. I close my eyes when I order there so they don't stab them. I go, hi, take a number 5, please.
Also, how often do you go and get fast food?
Not often because of all the dangers.
It's dangerous. It's not worth it. The fuck? How often do I do it? Oh my God.
Sounds like you have a whole system down.
Well, politeness. Politeness. That's a system nowadays. That's how crazy this world is, John O'Donnell. That's a system. No, it's called being polite and knowing you're a bitch.
That is how you get fast food these days.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm too pretentious for that shit.
I didn't get lettuce on here. What? I'd sooner cut off my leg. Who gives a fuck? You're talking to Bobby Flay back there. Don't worry. You got what you got. It was $2. You dumb fuck.
Fucking
leave alive. Yeah. Leave alive.
Are we the only ones taking this side in this fucking story?
I think so.
You would think that there's only one right side of history for this thing. No,
it's like, so sit them down. Everybody can use a little therapy. No, this is the way things are. You have to understand that and live accordingly so that you can live. God damn, so true of me. I think it's my second Bobby Flay reference. The Emerald. That's another one. Emerald. Okay.
I was gonna say now we know what chefs Keith knows. That's his reference. Right. Bobby Flay, the great Bobby Flay.
We all have to agree, right? I've seen his restaurant. It's not cheap.
Wild. They said 21-year-old manager. There's problems all over the place.
Right.
And like when I think about going to a fast food place or whatever, and if I get it wrong, I'm like, yeah, that's my fault. There's a bunch of teenagers working back there. I'm not saying shit. Teenagers are terrifying.
Yeah.
They're there to catch me outside, or it's just like, you know what? Forget it. I have a whole fire of grease for you. I'll bring it to you inside. Have that. No thanks.
Yeah. People should really appreciate fast food workers, like their resume, if we're pretending we appreciate that you went to the military on your resume.
Thank you for your service.
Right. Yeah.
right. Oh, you've worked in the fields, the fry fields. Yes, I get it. Totally.
I don't know if legally I can ask you. Tell me about the action.
I do love that Keith.
I had to dump old lady's head in the deep fryer once, but let me explain.
I love that Keith references the military when it comes to people who work in fast food. And the thing is we can't argue it because he actually was in the military. So if he's saying, sir, yes, sir, on this, like, I don't know how to argue that. It's very strange to know that he has that reference and can pull it out whenever. And you're like,
but in the military, I was trained, you know, you weren't really trained at Burger King.
It's funny. They say it like people are like, oh, you know, as an adult, you should have to like work the service industry once. You should have to go to the military for a little bit. Yeah. Keith did both. He's here to tell you they both suck. It's all the same. It's all shit.
Yeah. And then there's a reason that the two of those go together. I say, yeah, 2 weeks, you should have to be a waiter of some sort. And you got to go in the military at least 2 months. It's just a boot camp for everybody. You don't have to kill a person if that's not your speed. It's interesting, yeah, that they both go together with me the way Bobby Flay does. Yeah. Yeah. Best new guest. Here's some people you picked. You ready? By the way, Chemda does a fantastic job getting these guests. This is all her.
Thanks.
You know, sometimes we get some help, but she's the one that you know, the buck stops there. And I don't know, I'm looking at maybe 40 guests we had to narrow them down, and you guys picked 20 guests you'll be voting on. Ooh. It'll be a 2-step process. You'll see what we mean.
And this is only new guests. That's the thing.
That's what I mean. Best new guest of the year.
New guest even in a pandemic. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah. KeithAndTheGirl.com/forums. You can see what's doing. Jenny Zagrino, Mary Jo Peel, Tim McLaughlin.
Woo.
Micah Fox's old man. Colin O'Brien, the dude that we didn't know where it would go, but he's looking for love, right?
Love that.
Mark DeMayo, of course we know. Iris Bar, Casey Blasham, Yasmin Garza. We go all over the planet. Emily Panic, Irene 2. I'm sure she just says Irene, but I was on a roll. Dave Gruber Allen. Remember him from he was on Gilmore Girls. Trevor Moore, rest in peace. I don't know who we're going to call if he wins. Zara Norbach, Jesse Thorne, Alfie Brown, Rhea Butcher, Dana Gould, Jen Spira, Wyatt Cenac, Nikki Bond. Those are your 20 choices. You'll see at KeithAndTheGirl.com/forums.
You know, I'm so glad we do this because as you're reading the names, I'm like, solid, amazing, great guess. Like, yeah. These people are amazing. I forgot how many new people we met. Like Newsy said, in a pandemic. Good luck to you guys. I have a prediction on who's going to win because I think there was great response to everybody you mentioned. Really, truly, there was fantastic response. And obviously because they were nominated by the people listening, but I have an idea and I think Newsy and I are agreeing based on his little giggle. So I don't want to lead the witness. I don't want to tell you who I think is going to win, but I do have a prediction.
I have no fucking idea.
Really?
And between like Yasmin Garza's fight stories and like, you know, there's so many good guests that came on this year.
And they caught the guy that took his dick out, the Uber driver with Yasmin.
And she went on the date with the cop that was assigned to her for that dick out thing. Remember?
Right.
Oh, yeah. These
Trevor Moore, before he passes away, we have to ask him his thoughts on God and where you go. We'll see if he's right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask every
Wyatt,
guest,
we just heard from. Yeah, Dana Gould. Yeah, everybody better than the next.
I gotta say, Dana like Gould. It's fun, even just being in the green room, let's say, when you guys have good guests on or whatever. It just feels like, wow, Keeping the Girl, they did it, and I get to enjoy it too now, because like, when else am I going to be regularly seeing Doug Loves Movies guy, fucking
Doug Benson?
I don't know, Doug Benson. You know, just the fact that the two of you decided you wanted to do a show years ago, and look how we are, like so many years later, and I even get to like tangentially get to hang out with celebrities and people that we've been admired for so long, and you know, it's such a cool experience.
Right. And you know the work behind it more now, right? Because you're part of that work, and it's just like still so good. Michael Ian Black on Silent Trailers with Pete Holmes in the backstage chatting with each other because they haven't seen each other in a while, like totally, you know, ripping on each other because they know each other. Just, yeah, the people that we get to talk to and we get to record it and put it out. And yeah, it's been fantastic. So glad you're a part of it, Newsy. So glad you said yes to this. Ooh, little behind the scenes of this. So we asked Newsy to be on this episode, but we asked him like a month ago, and I texted him And he's like, no, I'm busy that day. And I'm like, he's busy a month from now. That's like not him. And he's like, and something about the weather that day. And I'm like, he does not know the weather a month from now. How do I text him to say something like, did you read my fucking text? And
what do you do? Like a scroll up emoji, the arrow up? What do you do?
Magnifying glass.
Yeah, that's funny.
I just all caps, Newsy. Come on. No, I asked it in a different way. I'm just like, oh, well, that is a Wednesday. Can you tell us if you're available for Q&A? That because it was just this. I found some other like.
Oh, you did good.
Can you tell me any sports answers? I mean, this guy knows the future.
I'll tell you what. I'll read the whole thing on Last Week on Keith and the Girl. This coming last week episode on Monday. But yeah, what were you going to say, Newsy?
So he scrolled up and he found the right day. He was
It's just so sad that still of all the resolutions, I'm trying to be a better person. Blah, 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 I don't add like actually reading into my resolutions, you know. and everybody who knows me knows that like y'all know I didn't read that shit. I'm sorry for who I am, but you know I didn't read that shit. So.
And I totally get it, and I'm glad that I could be like, hey, here's this in a different. So okay, so now also the marathon is coming up February 5th. Mark your calendars. It's going to be streaming on YouTube. Newsy will be in the background again, and of course, I've sent the email that says, "Hey, are you available at this time? Here's what you'll be doing." Blah blah blah, and I'm like. The entire construction of this email and a lot of emails for people that I'm booking, I'm like, what do I not need to say? So sometimes I'll write the email and delete half of it and then highlight some of it. How was that email about asking you to work the marathon?
Wonderful. Once again, another one of the ones where I can like, even from the subject bar in my email, I'm just like, oh, look, most of the information's there. Beautiful. So I just like, I didn't even email you back. I text you back. I'm like, got your email. I'll give you a formal response, but yeah, let's go for it.
So Chemda used to have to tell me, I would write emails to people. I'm like, hey, April 15th, are you free? That's something. And then Chemda goes, okay, now start with, hi, how are you? But I'm learning that she's wrong, right? Just get right to it.
Right to it.
It depends. With Newsy, no, hi, how are you? Hey, Newsy, if you're still alive, please respond. That's
somebody.
a given.
If somebody texts me and doesn't put what they want in that first text, I'm already starting off mad. I'm just like, what the fuck is a hi, hello? Just get into it. It's 2022. Yeah. We know each other. Tell me to meet right now.
I say, I recognize your dad died. April 15th, are you?
Right.
I can't wait. So, speaking of all the cool things that we've been able to do, being able to be behind the scenes in the marathon, it's going to be even better. There's going to be, hopefully we can get some goofy moments and some KATGuh stuff from this upcoming marathon. 24 hours. Come on.
Yeah, I think in 24 hours, the marathon doesn't really go for the KATGuh because it's 24 hours, it's whatever it is. But I think in a 24-hour period, we can have an entire KATGuh award episode just for the 24 hours. Again, it's going to be streaming on YouTube. Get to YouTube, go to our channel. If you're there, press the subscribe button and the bell. February 5th, we start at 3 p.m. At least I'm saying 50 of the most incredible comedians. And we're still in a pandemic, which means they could be in LA, they could be around the world. It does not matter. So we're going to get a chance to really talk to a bunch of people.
There you go. KeithandTheGirl.com/forums. That's where you'll vote. You'll do your voting in 1 week. We will call up the winners or their representation. And right. I know some people are dead. Some people, we'll figure it out.
And also for a bonus, on Last Week on Keith and Girl, Keith will tell you who the worst guest of the year is. Interesting.
Oh, like this is one of those, if you build it, if you say it, Keith will do it.
That's why I do that stuff.
I've tried that. I don't know. In 17 years, that might have worked once.
So be subscribed wherever you get your podcast, Keith and the Girl. Welcome aboard if you're new, and we'll talk to you soon. KeithandtheGirl.com